We're live.
Ooh, there's a cool indicator.
Yeah.
Live.
Oh, I see it. No, that's cute.
So you have
Yeah.
8 hours, you said, Wes? So we can
Yeah,
we
we
can
have.
draw for 8 hours. Okay, I hope everyone's ready for this 8 hour debut.
Yes.
Drawing with
Drawing with
Dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess I
awesome.
guess we should do like the intro thing, right? So, hi, welcome to Drawing with Dads. It's a show thing where we're dads and we
Oh, look, he's
draw.
writing it out. That's good.
Here we go.
Uh,
Every week we draw a new logo for you.
yeah, yeah,
$20.
perfect. You don't charge much for logos. I like that. Here, I should do that too. Ba, 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 it's Drawing with Dads. I was gonna write a theme song and then play it on the ukulele, and then I
Oh,
realized
that would make me happy.
I am the least talented musicianly, probably of all three of us. So,
Oh, so you know what I still have? I still have your beatboxing that you
um, yes.
for my Patreon video because I didn't want to I had all these songs I wanted to play, but I didn't want to get sued for copyright infringement. And so you just ended up making me that awesome beatbox session. So I'm waiting to roll it out in the
Yeah,
awkwardest way possible.
it's gonna be great.
I feel left out, so now I'm writing it too.
Here,
Okay.
Yay!
yay! There we go. If anyone had a doubt of what they're watching, Drawing
Oh,
with Dads,
multiple dads.
multiple dads.
Oh no.
So many series.
Here it comes. We're after all that, I should say I'm Wesley. Wesley Hall. I make the webcomic. I forgot the word for it for a second. Nameless PCs. Found at namelesspcs.com. You can follow me on Twitter at namelesspc. That's about all. So yeah. Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Nick. I don't do anything.
That's perfect.
Except this. I do this. I do this because these
This
guys
is
have
something.
pressured me into drawing and sharing things.
Yeah,
So
Nick,
I'm
Nick,
nerd
time and
nerd
work.
Pruitt on Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
because my name was taken by some insurance salesman somewhere.
Oh man, how boring do you have to be to do insurance on Twitter?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the worst. I'm gonna social media bomb everybody with fears about their
Yeah.
You
Are
know,
you
you
or your
live on a
loved one going to die
floodplain. Do
soon?
you live on a floodplain?
You probably do.
Oh, okay. I'm Stephen McGee. I am writer and creator of RainDogComic.com. You can find me on Raindog Comic is pretty much my call sign for anything. So Twitter, I'm RainDogComic, and I don't know. Except for Pinterest, I don't do that. Nothing against it. I just it's just kind of it's like one more site to sign on
It's
to.
too far. It's just too far.
I like that you've started the show by hating on Pinterest. I think that's perfect. And life
You
insurance.
know what? Go there for cookie recipes, not funny comics.
Yeah. You're missing out on an audience, I think. I don't know. There's too many sites to keep up with.
That's the thing, man. That's what it's about. Seriously, it's always every time somebody starts a new one, let's all do it, and then everybody signs up for it, and you feel left out. But then you realize you have just something else that's not really working, kind of.
Yeah,
If
you
that
guys.
makes sense. I signed up for this weird Facebook alternative because I saw some dudes sign up for from Awkward Yeti, that guy,
Oh yeah.
and he got some decent coverage out of it. I got nothing.
Oh
And I
no.
couldn't. It was so hard to get out of. I just wrote him a letter. I was like, "Hey, delete my everything."
It was MySpace. Just be honest with us all, right?
Man. This logo's
Go
bad.
with the right A-letter method.
Well, email. I didn't snail mail it.
Let's give us 4 proofs of identity that you are who you say you are.
So how you guys doing? You guys look great.
Oh yeah, we're doing. I'm doing good.
Digitally, you look great.
Digitally, I look terrific. I hope maybe. This drawing looks bad, actually. Yeah. So how was everybody's week? I don't know. How do you start these things? How do you start an intro topic? Should we do McLaughlin Circle? You guys watch the McLaughlin group? My dad did.
No.
No. He's just this guy who would be like, let's talk about subject, and he would just yell at everyone after they said their piece and say they were wrong. He's just like, Hillary Clinton, will she win a campaign? And people would be like, I think she has a good chance. No, no chance at all. You're both wrong. She'll do okay.
It'd be a good exercise in writing.
Yeah. Nick, how are you doing?
You know, things are well.
Is this your?
Bedtime was a little hectic tonight.
Oh no!
We survived.
What happened? Do you have a bad story? Already?
You know, right now Lucy just doesn't want to sleep. She's just like a few nights ago, she like slept completely through the night, straight through the night, and then like the past few nights, she's like, no, I'm just gonna wake up constantly and drive you crazy.
Oh no!
But then my wife conquered all and got her to sleep right before this started. So
nice.
Awesome.
She's good.
Wives are the best.
She's got mom skills.
Yes, those mom skills are impressive.
They just have them too. It's just like first you give birth to a baby, which I mean like not like you could practice giving birth to a baby, then instant mom skills.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Like
if you go to a birthing class, not really good preparation.
Yeah.
Not really what it's like at all.
You don't really learn a lot there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually skipped out on that, like, because, I mean, it's like YouTube kind of replaced it, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So we kind of looked up some terrible videos, and then, you know, we just figured it would come natural because people have been doing it for, like, millions of years, you know? So we just kind of, I mean, like, I was researching all these things, like, do I need to go to Lamaze and all that? And it ended up we just kind of, like, just forgot and got lazy about it and just kept watching, like, you know, different shows on Netflix. So it was great. It was a great experience. I recommend it. Have kids, listeners.
If you have it, remember the price that you must pay to draw with us is having children.
So we'll of course talk parents talk. We went to the class. It wasn't actually terrible. I feel like I feel bad now that I said it was worthless, but it was not worthless.
Oh no, it was fine.
It was all right. Yeah, there wasn't. But I remember we watched some video and they were definitely like. My wife was like, "Oh, I've seen much worse." She looked over and was like, "We'll find the real stuff at home," like because they were like, "We're gonna show the needle going back for like the epidural and stuff like that," and it was just not bad at all.
Cool. I wanted to watch that, but they wouldn't let me. They're like, "No, you should sit here."
Oh, really?
And like encourage your wife. I'm like, she's fine.
Let me watch the stuff.
They said something about, you know, like you might pass out. I'm like, shh, I won't pass out.
They said that too. They're like, seriously, you pass out, you go to the ER, you miss your kid.
One of our friends passed out during one of his kids being born. At some point, he passed out. I think it was during the epidural.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess they do it for a reason.
And he wasn't watching. He just kind of passed out.
What?
And then he got up and he finished that thing. Dads don't give up.
Yeah, you gotta stick there for the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and we went. What did we do today? We went and got some coffee this afternoon.
Nice.
And went to this like indoor playground thingy.
Okay.
And, like let the kids run crazy in that, which was funny.
Well,
I might have been climbing things and going down slides.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I got no shame.
You gotta get into it, right?
They're like, I'm like, go down the slide. They're like, no, I don't want to go down the slide because it like was all static electricity land. I'm like, okay, see you guys at the bottom. And then I went.
And then you like come back up this other side.
Yeah, see you guys. It was good.
That's funny.
We're the most vain people ever. Are you guys drawing yourselves too?
Yeah, we're
like a younger me.
Dude, the Stages of Baldness comic.
Oh, hey, thank you.
Destroyed me.
Dude, thank you so much, man.
I said that to my wife, and she was just dying. She just thought that was good.
Thanks. Thank you so much, man. That got some cool reception. And apparently, like a lot of people are bald. You know.
You're not alone. You know.
It was good. It was good.
The internet exposes these niches for all of us that we never knew existed.
I spent like I didn't sleep that night, man. You know, that's one of those ones where you get started and you're like, I gotta finish it, you know. And then it's like we talked about last time. It was one of those like 4 a.m, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of those. And then the whole next day, you're like mentally drained. You know, you have no idea what's going on. You can barely drive, and you know, you're emotionally like invested in it. And if people hate it, you're just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm worthless.
Like,
Everything's worthless.
yes, the why did I stay up so late for nothing?
Yeah.
I've been there. I don't think I've ever stayed up till 4 a.m., but I've done 2 or 3, I think. That's the worst.
Wes, man, I saw you like land the top of well, obviously because we tweeted about it, but like you land the top of Tapastic for a while.
Yeah, so,
That's badass.
for anyone who doesn't know, Tapastic is like an app where you can, or I guess it's a web page, not technically an app, where you go. Well, I guess it has an app too. Jeez, this is a worse explanation of what it is.
They might not hire you now. I don't know.
Yeah, they've already lost. Everyone's gone. They just all leave at this point. So they do like it's a website where you can upload your comic, and so they picked one of my comics for one of their like daily like shout outs. So got a bunch of followers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild, man. You know.
It was insane. I was up there with like Lunar Baboon. I was with the greats. I feel like a one-hit wonder, you know, just like, hey guys.
I don't think so, man. I think it'll come back. I think you'll like those followers. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so Facebook these days with a comic, it's no longer like, hey, you got likes and they're fake internet points. They're more like a subscription to a magazine in a way.
Yeah.
You know, people are now subscribing to your content, and with Tapastic, they actively remind you about it. So it's a little bit cooler than like Facebook, where it just shows up on your feed based on an algorithm. There actually is like a number, like this is new, this is how many you missed, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I like Tapastic because it's like that community of people who are there to read comics and consume or talk about comics. So it's not like you just get a Facebook person who's kind of interested, and you know, or because you're like their cousin or aunt or uncle or something. I guess I would not be anyone's aunt, but but you know, like the Tapastic.
That's poignant. That's very poignant. I wouldn't be anyone's aunt.
I wouldn't be anyone's aunt.
Yeah. That's good.
But the Tapastic stuff was all like, you know, those people are there for webcomics, and so they also like to see people succeed and stuff like that, which is cool.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I like their site a lot. The only thing, again, that sucks, I have a Windows phone, and there's no way of dealing with the app, you know?
Oh, no.
It's behind the times. That phone, it's great, and it's cheap, and it does what I want, which is awesome, except for, like, some of these apps that I'm just totally missing out on.
Yeah. You're not missing much. You're just missing other waste of time to, like, stop producing comics and other stuff.
Oh, okay. Feel a little better.
Yeah. I mean, it's all just a waste of time.
Like, you guys were talking about downloading the Magic the Gathering app, and I went into this nostalgia wave, looked at all my old cards, you know, got excited, and I was like, I need to play this on my phone, you know, and I started pricing iPhones. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this. I can't afford it.
Ouch. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you. I think I got an upgrade, so I was able to get like a cheap refurbished one, which is nice. It will mostly be filled with videos of my daughter, who turns 1 on Thursday.
Wow, man.
Yes.
Punch in the gut.
Yeah, it's been a year, so.
Are you guys doing the smash cake thing, you know? Is that a thing out there?
It is a
That's
thing.
big thing here.
Yeah, it's a thing. We're doing like a healthier one. Just it's gonna have like bananas and just I don't know. It seems weird. I was trying to tell my wife, and I don't know how to explain it properly, but it seems like it's like congratulations, you turned 1. Here's a really bad relationship with food. You know, like,
I know what you're saying.
like here's a stressor for later on in your life when you're like 30 and you're like, why do I have such a gut and why am I drinking like 7 Cokes a day? Like, you know, oh wait, that's because it's all back to this baby thing. You know, it's like at 2 they should tell you about taxes and start making you fill out forms for them. It's like every year you get like a different like, life problem.
Oh man, I've been attempting to start an allowance kind of thing with Jude. That's been interesting.
Any luck?
So he's like 4.5, right? So he's kind of getting it. But it's just kind of a passive thing instead of like setting some big goal and pursuing it or something. He just kind of cleans up some toys now and again and gets a coin.
That's
But it's good. It's a start.
Here's something
And then one
shiny.
night he's just like, he kicked back and he went, I just want all the money in the world so I can just buy all the toys in the world. All of them. I just want them all.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a ruthless business person already.
I was gonna say he's the best capitalist of us all, right?
So then I'm like trying to talk about how things won't make you happy and all this stuff with a 4-year-old, and that was just an interesting conversation. So
How did he take that? I need to be prepared for these. These are gonna be happening soon, I feel like. Uh-oh, did we lose Nick? Or did I
Yeah.
I asked too in-depth of a question.
It's just crashed.
It's like, wow,
Google Hangouts needs to step up their game, man. This is bullshit.
Nick, what happened to you? Have you had to have that conversation? How old is your oldest? I forget. I feel like you.
He's 2.5. He doesn't really get the concept of currency.
That's good.
Whoops, wrong color. He doesn't quite, he doesn't get money. Like he's like, oh, green cash and stuff, and every once in a while somebody will give him a quarter. He's like, I don't know, he'll lose it.
I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, it's really funny to kind of like introduce concepts for him, like he doesn't get checks really. Like we wrote like one check, and I couldn't believe it because this is the new millennium, But we were like paying a bill, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's awesome! Why don't you give me this? Because you can just write it on paper, and then it becomes art, So I don't think he understands that there's like financial aspects tied to our checks that we write. So it's
a sheet of
interesting.
paper you fill out and you cash in. You just write a check for whatever you want.
But we've debated like the allowance thing, like how to do it. I think we've kind of agreed on a way where like we just give it to him, like he just gets money every week, and then but the chores are expected kind of thing. Like we don't tie. I don't know if we're gonna tie them together now. We're still kind of debating like how to handle that.
yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Like
Really?
I made a little chart for him, or like meaning my wife did. Like every time he cleaned,
I
he
like
got
you just
like
took credit for it.
Nice.
yeah. He like got a star or something, or like a And after he got enough, we let him pick out a little toy, and then we tried to like transition to money. Like you stick it in your piggy bank, and when you hit this number, you can. But I don't know. I don't know if it's really setting in
You
yet.
know if he's taking it.
Like my nephew was doing that, and then the first time he got to go get something with the money he earned, he was like, oh, "This is amazing," and it totally clicked for him. I feel like we have to get to that point first, where he sees, "Oh, that's the point of this."
But yeah.
But it's nice because then whenever he asks me for stuff, I'm like, "Dude, you gotta earn it. You gotta
Well, that's awesome.
Look, the grout in the kitchen is very dirty. Just get this toothbrush and." You have tiny hands.
What chores do
you can reach in there. I just have them clean the toys up in their little playroom.
Yeah, we started doing that. We make them like folded blankets,
I'll just give them like, okay, there's one pile of toys you dumped in the floor. Stick them in that box over there, and you will have done what you must do.
You know what you should do? Or would be cool. I wish my parents would have done is like I was a huge fan of role-playing games as I got older, but like some kind of level improvement, like the more you do this kind of thing, like you can get some kind of like you level up, and you could go get this kind of toy, like a $20. I don't know. I think it would be badass to kind of like give them some kind of experience point system or something.
You are now a level 10 cleaner.
Yeah.
You may move into the
I feel like you give them
realm.
You get them like the reward of like now you get to stay up 30 minutes later at night.
I'm like, look, sorry, you are limited now to the $1 section at Target. However, when you reach 10, when you're level 10, you can move to the actual toy section.
Yeah.
Starting with Micro Machines. Do those still exist?
Nice.
I probably just dated myself there.
What is that?
I'm pretty dated anyway. What was it? Micro Machines? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, man, with the guy who talked fast, like ridiculously fast.
Oh yeah, and they had a cool racing game for NES. It was like actually really legit good.
I had heard about that, or it's like one of those things where you see it in like old Nintendo Power.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
My
maybe
my
myself,
neighbor
but
had it. My
yeah.
neighbor had it, and I was like, "This is amazing." You'd be like riding on the tub. The tub level was hard because you'd like hit soap and like slide, and it was cool.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
It was a better
I remember
time.
this
It
game.
was a better time.
I think we simpler time.
Yeah.
Back when you could go to the Blockbuster or the Hollywood Videos.
Oh my
You
gosh.
have Hollywood Videos,
We
and
had
you could
one,
rent
and it
Sega
is now a
games.
pizza
And your
place.
parents would say, "Just one, just one."
All
We
ours
had
turned into dollar marts. You
we
know.
had one. We had one when we were growing up, run by this Middle Eastern man who couldn't really speak to us that well, but he had Metroid, and that's all I needed. I was like,
Nice.
let's do this. My
My
mom
friend
never
got
had any idea
No,
what this guy was
no.
saying. He was a very sweet man, though.
That's good.
And I remember seeing like I walked by the aisle that had the horror movies, and I walked by like the Child's Play movie, and that cover always freaked me out as a kid. I was like, that's creepy.
It was creepy. That's
And then
good.
like I grew up, and now I'm a huge fan of horror movies, and I'm like, Child's Play is pretty dumb. But yeah,
Right though, I mean, like especially the sequels,
the
you're
first
just
one's
like,
okay,
wow, that's
right?
boring and campy as hell. I just like
I don't know
I
if
don't
I've
know.
seen
I remember
Child's
when
Play.
Chucky, like the one where he got married was in to like that girl. I don't know. I can't even remember her name, but she was some semi-famous actress who was in a lot of like Jane and Silent Bob movies, and she was the bride of Chucky. And I remember it being in the theaters, and all these people were like, "Let's go!" I was like,
Yes.
"Let's not. It's gonna suck balls. Let's not go to this." You guys still there?
I didn't hear what you say. You cut in and out on me. I heard Bride of Chucky. It's
Oh, crap.
Oi,
Let me check my internet.
my audio dropped. Ah, I am back.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
I wanted to see what you guys were doing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't pull up their screens. I was talking about
No.
Brad Dourif or something. I mean, everyone wants to hear me talk about Brad Dourif. Is that the dude from Child's Play? That's whatever.
You guys are out of my realm.
No ginger dead man, but
I love the flames behind your head, or whatever's going on there,
I'm
Wesley.
not really sure what is
You're
going on there.
dormant.
The panic of realizing you have a 1-year-old, I think, is really what's going on.
Is
in the
that what it
background.
is?
Yeah. Like a slight, just like, oh no. It's good though. I actually was gonna say we like had dumped her toys out so she would play with one, and she just started putting them back in the box.
Yes, this is a wonderful day for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's ever gonna stick around.
And then
I
you
hope so.
cried. Then
Yeah.
you cried. You cried like a baby.
I have 5 minutes of her just cleaning up, and it's. Just,
You're
I
like,
think
no.
this will give me strength in the hard times. So,
Oh man. Yeah, we'll be doing a 1-year birthday before long.
yeah. Are you gonna do the smash cake and all that?
Yeah, we've done that with each of them. Really, Gray's the only one that took to it. Jude, like, cannot stand to get his hands dirty.
Oh yeah.
Like, ever since he was, like, existed, He, like, came out of the womb and he was like, towel. He was, like, looking for a
Excuse me.
towel.
Excuse me.
And his hands off. There's
Can I get a bath
viscera
real quick?
on me here. I can't handle this. Ooh,
Like,
first appearance of the word viscera on our podcast.
Yes.
Or our live stream. This is amazing. But then Gray was all about it, man. He was just crunching his fingers, and I don't even know that he ate that much. And we were just really giving them like a little cupcake kind of deal, not really like a whole like
Yeah.
elaborately made cake. Yeah. So, but I have a feeling Lucy will be all about it. I think she will smash it to bits,
Oh yeah.
and it will be cute.
That sounds good.
do you have like a theme?
Everything.
Buy like any kind of like vanilla or chocolate or something?
My wife figures out themes, so
Yeah.
I delegate to her. I'm like, sure, but she likes that. She enjoys that, so that's
Cool,
good.
man. I think I just cut out. There we go. All right, hold on. There we go. I think.
Okay, yes. Yes. So what are we drawing after we're done indulging our vein side?
Well, let's see. I took some requests on Twitter, and I got
Something
3.
about pirates.
Oh yeah,
Or
pirates.
hundreds. Oh.
Yes, hundreds. That was my contribution. So we got pirates. We have
Pirates
drawing
with
cartoon
puns.
characters from our generation as old people, which is kind of a downer.
That's special. I like that.
But it's a good one. It's
Lionel
a good
with a
one.
walker.
Yeah.
Lino.
That's a good. I was trying to think of like who would I do, and I was trying to think of like what was like my age. Did you ever watch?
Man.
I feel like you might have seen it, Nick, but I don't know if it was like popular anywhere else. But McGee and Me. Anybody else see this?
No,
No,
I'm not sure I know.
The only reason I know this is because I've Googled myself, since my last name is McGee, you know?
Aha!
Yeah, coming up.
McGee is like.
That's pretty good.
Have you seen it? It was like this live action. It was like a Christian show that was like just straight to video. And then he would
Nice.
draw this little guy McGee who looked kind of like a leprechaun, like old man,
Right.
but he was supposed to be cool and hip.
Yeah,
What,
of
like
course.
attempt at cool and hip, or
Yeah.
He's
It's
cool
like a
and hip. He's cool and hip, and he's reading the Psalms. Let's do this.
yeah, exactly. He taught like it was definitely like some 40-year-old guy's version of like cool and hip. What would a kid draw? Like I don't know, something like this. They all have big hair and and big noses instead, and it's crazy.
Oh boy.
And then the last one we had was Luchadors playing Settlers of Catan, which is like a very specific.
but that's intense.
That is intense.
That's like, dude, so at a con before, I remember that, like I would give out like free pencil sketches at cons, and some people, I'm like, yeah, I'll draw you, or I'll draw some character. Some dudes would come up and they'd be like the Battle of 1812, or like an entire army of orcs, like storming the castle. I'm like, Jesus, man, no. You know, and they get offended, and it's a kid, and I'm like, oh, you know, here's Punisher. See you later.
Yeah, have a good day. That's crazy. What has been your con experience? I haven't ever been at a con.
So I've exhibited twice, and the first time, like two very different experiences. The first time I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and I just finished my 150th comic, and it was so my comic started out as a storyline. The first 150 are like the first story I did, and it wrapped up well. It was fun. I had a good time, so I put it into a book, and I bought like 50 books on my own dime, you know.
Oh gosh.
I spent like $300 on the books to get them printed in this magazine format. I spent $300 on the ticket because it was Heroes Con and they're stupid expensive. And then I spent like another, I'd say 200 or 300 on hotel and travel and all that, and food and all. I mean, sorry, hotel and food. And so like $900 I spent on this con and I made 200. You know,
Okay.
I was really in the hole. But the second con I did was here in Greenville, and I stayed in my house. You know, I played it really close to the chest. I used all the books I had from the first one. The table was $75 for the whole weekend, and I made the same amount as the first one. I made like $300 or something, and I came out on top. It was like, really fun. Met a lot of local people. So my advice to anybody listening is seriously like keep it local. Just try and go to a few and talk to the artists on the outskirts in Artist Alley just to see what their experiences are. Because all the guys in the middle are really popular and who were invited. You know, so all the ones on the outskirts are the guys who are probably like really trying to make a name.
I got you. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep like debating whether or not to go. My dog is barking in the background, so I'm all concerned.
Do it, man. Just
She likes to
Real
freak out about
life,
nothing.
real dogs.
Real life,
Real
yeah,
dads.
like, real dads worrying about real dogs, waking up their real children at real late o'clock.
Real
That's an incredible
dogs.
tagline, by the
Real
way.
life. Yeah, we had to think of a good catchphrase. That was another
Yeah.
assignment.
Well, I
Real
need to
life.
put anything
you know,
that's
I
on
thought
the
about,
YouTube page right now.
One thing I had thought about drawing too was like I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans, but Roddy Piper,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, died this week. I thought that might be fun. Do some Roddy Piper portraits.
Oh man, I was a huge
Maybe
wrestling
Roddy
fan.
Piper punching a pirate in the face. You know.
You know, that's another thing. That's interesting because like, I think like our age group like was when kind of wrestling came into its heyday. There was all these incredible guys when we were real young. Like I guess in the what was it? It was the WWF and the WCW
Yeah.
before they like merged into whatever they are now, the WWE. And all these like Hogan, Jake the Snake Roberts, and like all these really, really like crazy guys who were pretty much just heroes. Now they're all washed up, but back then they were just like these crazy strong guys with finisher moves, and it was fun. It was ridiculous.
Oh man, They Live is one of my favorite movies with Roddy Piper. And old John Carpenter. He's the man.
I don't think I've actually seen it.
I'm drawing Roddy Piper now that I've talked about that.
No, I think we should all do Roddy Piper.
I can't help myself. I haven't pulled up over here.
Yeah, that's what I've done. I've pulled up a bunch of images. And now I'm going to fail at doing it, and it'll be great.
Real dads, real reference.
Real failures.
Real reference drawing. Real proof that we poorly render everything.
Real first birthdays.
Real smash cakes.
Real panic.
That was real talk about real food and real sugar addiction in America. I don't know. It's late.
You should get like a hummus cake and carrots or something to like stave off that doomed to eat sweets forever.
Right now, Jude eats peanut butter. He eats fruit. And that's pretty much it.
That's awesome, though. I mean, it's not like cheeseburgers,
I got apples in there. He loves apples. Hey.
There you go. That was my kid's first love. She was all about the apples.
Apples.
She's kind of moved on.
Bananas, man. We buy bananas like it's going out of style, and they enjoyed it so much. So we just it's mainly it's their breakfast every morning with a couple other things, but.
Bananas are the mainstay. All the bananas. You're the guy in line now with like 10 apples and like 3 bunches of bananas. That's you.
Oh yeah. That's who you are.
You're that guy. I'm the guy that buys 2 loaves of bread. I'm like, who buys 2 loaves of bread? Seriously. It's me. That's who.
It's always been you.
It's me.
Dude, every storm here, every snowstorm here, like, bread is gone, milk is gone, bread is gone, and people flip the hell out. It's insane. Like, it melts the next day, and they're all ready for, like, the apocalypse. It's crazy.
Oh, that's the way it is here, too.
Yeah, everyone panics, and then everyone drives really badly.
You know what? We should panic. Oh, gosh, if it's like, it rained today, everyone freak out.
Yeah.
And drive like a psychopath.
I'm sure it's that way everywhere, so... Or at least I'm going to pretend it is. Now, what Roddy Piper are you drawing? That's the real question.
There's this one of him with, like, his tongue hanging out.
There you go.
I think that's pretty appropriate. I was watching someone posted this clip of, like, a promo he did, like, I guess back in his old wrestling territory or whatever, before WWF and all that, and he actually smashed a bottle over his head as part of this promo, like, actually did it. Like a real bottle. It's freaking crazy. He like starts bleeding all over from his forehead while he's yelling at the camera. I'm like, that's insane.
That seems incredibly uncomfortable.
Are you insanely like? Are you just pumped up on adrenaline? Are you pumped up on painkillers? How did you do that?
You gotta get that paycheck, I guess.
I suppose so. He's like, look, I gotta make my $50 tonight. Let's do this thing.
Yeah. Those guys are notoriously underpaid. Incredibly underpaid.
Maybe in the early '80s, $50 was a lot. I don't know.
The inflation.
Back then.
It was a huge amount. You could live off $50 for years.
And then I watched his interview with Joe Bob Briggs from when he was on Monster Vision.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm weird and watch old Monster Vision videos on YouTube.
That sounds totally normal to me.
Yeah. Well, good. Present company excluded. It's weird.
I mean, I don't know what Monster Vision is, but it sounds fine.
That's how I spent like middle school. Was every Saturday night I was watching Monster Vision.
What is Monster Vision? No,
it was this thing that came on TNT. So there's a guy he's a film critic-ish guy named Joe Bob Briggs, and his name's actually John Bloom, but it's like a persona he had almost like a horror movie host kind of thing, you know.
Okay, I can dig it.
Yeah, so but he had something on the movie channel first, and he just reviewed, really tasteless horror movies. And so then the movie channel thing ended, and he wound up on TNT somehow. I guess TNT needed programming in its early days or something. So that's how I spent every Saturday night of my youth.
Nice.
I was watching Monster Vision.
That's all right. I remember doing a lot of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and the Nickelodeon Saturday night things. The Snick, I think is what they
Yeah, Snick. I remember Snick.
Yeah, this would have been post-Snick.
Oh, really?
For I indulged in the Snick as well. All that, man, And now he's on SNL. What the heck?
No way.
That one guy, what was his name? Kenan Thompson.
Kenan, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, from all that.
All that.
You guys remember the Good Burger movie, right?
I have somehow avoided seeing that.
You've not missed much.
Though I'm sure it was thrilling.
I like that. That's what I decided. This will bring the fans in. Talk about.
Someone just viewed our stream and was like, "Good Burger movie." These guys.
No,
suck.
I'm out. Who talked about Good Burger?
It's not happening.
We do have 2 watchers, so.
Wow.
Hello, people watching.
Is one of them my wife though? I mean, that might not count.
I don't know. I
think she's upstairs editing photos. Maybe she's watching.
And she's listening. You're gonna get in a fight about this later. Can't believe you said that.
I told her about the old one. She watched some of it.
Oh yeah.
I kind of watched it like 6 times. I'm just like incessantly picking my own thing apart. I'm like, God, it's like a shithole. I suck.
I couldn't watch it because I was just like, listen to that voice. Ugh. And then it took me like an hour to say a question. I talk really slow. I feel like.
I think that's the worst part. I think about even looking in a mirror. You're like, I look like that. I sound like that.
Yeah. Every day I wake up just like, how am I married and have a child? This isn't real dad talk.
More of me.
And to such a beautiful and talented woman. I should add that in.
Oh my audio just dropped again.
Oh no. I did watch this cool documentary the other day called Lost Souls. You remember the
Dr. Moreau one? I still haven't watched that.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's
I
nuts.
listen. Do you listen? Have you heard of How Did This Get Made?
Yes.
So they did Dr. Moreau, and that's where I heard about this documentary. I'm like, I have to see this thing, and then it just came out on Netflix. What did you think?
It was crazy. That it's like, no way is that how shoots go. Like, it's got to be
Marlon Brando and his I don't give a crap phase.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or was that always what he was in? I don't know.
I think
he had that dumb, like, it was like a half sidekick person. Not a person, I wouldn't call it, I don't know what it was. But it was like a really odd movie in film. I was like, because I'm a huge like film critic or film buff, and I'm like, yeah, Marlon Brando, right on, let's do this. And I was really disappointed.
Yeah,
like, wow, he's really just gotten fat and weird and lazy.
Exactly.
So the documentary starts by talking to the original director, who was like obsessed with the book, and like just had like determined to make, determined to make the movie. And he did like all these little movies like Hardwire. Oh crap, I can't remember whatever other movie he did, but needless to say, he's got some cred. Then a New Line comes about, and they hire him, and then it just all falls apart.
Oh, the poor guy.
Yeah, and the guy gets fired. He gets fired. They bring in this replacement. Like, they were originally supposed to have this other cast, and then Val Kilmer comes in, and Val Kilmer is just like a train wreck, and just like bullies everyone out of everything. Apparently, he's apparently a huge jerk. Yeah. So they just go over like the whole thing, and they have like the documentary school. It's called Lost Souls. I think it's just like the story of Dr. Monroe, or the island of Dr. Monroe, or something. And it's just like nuts, all the stuff that like falls apart in it.
Oh my gosh, I have to watch this now.
It's crazy. You're just like, okay, surely this is where they're gonna end it. And like, nope, it's still going, and it still only is getting more and more insane.
They were saying stuff on the podcast about like Marlon Brando like taping his lines to like a desk or stuff like that in some of his movies,
That's
like later in his career. Like, I'm not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
memorize this crap. I'm just gonna.
No,
Yeah.
that's legit. So
He's
again,
like, you extra. Let me write in magic marker my lines on the back of your neck, please. You know. I mean,
yes, I know a little bit about that actually. So like in Godfather, you guys have seen the movie Godfather, right?
even in
Yeah.
Godfather, this is
Yeah,
how
so
big.
there's a scene where
Oh.
like Mike Pacino, you know, he's like talking to his dad, like he's taking over control, but they're all like in the garden having wine, and Marlon Brando's just doing his thing, but he's looking off like he always kind of does. And there's some pictures of it I found online that like in this movie sub, they were talking about how he had taped his lines. He had bought a billboard across the street and taped his lines to it, like during the
What?
scene, you know, so he could like kind of glance over. And they were taped like all over the set too, but like the prominent ones.
Oh, gosh.
Dude. He's like, I was in Streetcar Named Desire. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want.
I'm fat.
I'm gonna tape my lines. I'm gonna
What?
eat as much as I want. Let's
They
just
were-
say Marlon had a few smash cakes, Wesley.
Yes, it's
His
true.
time.
Again, look, if he had not had smash kicks when he
They were
was
probably smashed by him passing out face first into the cake,
yes,
waking up, realizing his face was buried in cake, and then eating it all.
yes.
That would be my guess. Well, I have to watch this.
Brando hungry.
Exactly.
Poor Brando. Oh,
I have to watch this now because I watched Best Worst Movie. Have you seen that one?
yes.
About Troll 2. Oh,
yes.
Oh,
I love that. So good.
Best worst movie is great. It's also like terribly sad.
Nilgob.
It's like great at the same time. I'm amazed where Neil Gobb is. It's everywhere. Like
Oh, and he looks in the car window and it's oh boy.
yeah,
Red rum it ain't. Red rum it ain't.
no, it is not. And nothing to do with the original Troll, which had a character named Harry Potter in it.
What?
Yeah, have you seen the original Troll?
No.
The original Troll, okay, it's not. It's
I do
No.
know that there are no trolls in Troll 2
yeah, no.
at
Yeah.
all.
So Troll 2 is completely unrelated and was only called Troll 2 because it was a way to tie it into the franchise to make more money. But Troll 1 is like this kid moves into an apartment complex which is slowly being taken over by this troll that lives like on the upper floor. What's her face? Ellen from Seinfeld. Now
Really?
she's on VIP. A very young her is in it, I believe. I should Google check that. But the kid's name is Harry Potter.
how many years separate are divided between Troll 2 and the actual book?
Troll was filmed in 1986, according to IMDb.
How is this not touched upon?
Let's see who is. Yeah, Harry Potter Jr. and Harry Potter Sr. are both in it.
What?
Those are the characters' names.
There
Yeah,
were two people named Harry Potter, not just one, but two?
two. There's a senior and a junior.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in it. Oh, also, I forgot Sony Bono. So, also, in case you ever need those, someone is still playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. That's a good tie-in there.
Sonny Bono in Troll 2.
Oh, he's in Troll. I don't remember. I don't think anyone famous is in Troll 2.
No. Troll 2 was like local people he found, I believe.
Yeah, you
Part
found
of-
the dentist.
Part of one of the myriad issues
Yeah.
with the film. I just love that, like, I mean, this movie, like, to give you an example, like, when his dead grandfather just shows up and only he can see him, and then he freezes time, like, out of nowhere.
Where else are you going to get that in a movie, though?
I mean, and then later he, like, apparently has lightning powers, and he shoots lightning.
That's just strong writing.
And
I think you're missing over, like, the main point, right, of the movie is that they're turning them into vegetables so the trolls can eat them.
yes, because they're vegetarian.
That's the legitimate, like, plot of this movie.
And then they keep them from eating the food. The boy, you know, takes a whiz all over everyone's dinner.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah, he
treat
pisses
this
on
as though it's
hospitality.
an acceptable occurrence.
I have not seen this movie. I probably will not see it. I mean, I might YouTube some of it because I cannot believe this is real.
You should watch. There's a documentary. The documentary Nick was talking about is best worst movie.
Best worst movie. You could really just watch that and receive all of the joy.
And they talk about it, and they show like some of those scenes, and then they just talk about like, you know, the director was this like older fellow from another country who was like, this is how American kids talk slang, and it was not how any American kid has ever talked slang. It's how like a narcotics officer thinks kids talk slang. It was just so bad.
My fellow children.
Yeah, exactly. This guy is ouch.
Wasn't there a Simpsons when Skinner was like trying to be young?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Don't have a cow, man.
There's an entire subreddit called Hello Fellow Kids or something like that, and like the logo is Steve Buscemi like in a skateboarding outfit, and his shirt says something like rock band or I can't remember what it is, but it's just.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, isn't that from like
that? It's like adults.
30 Rock
Like,
episode?
post a bunch of stuff about adults trying to sound cool and relate.
Oh
It's just
man.
okay. That's one part I think is a good topic for being a dad. Just be a dad.
My wife and I have a pact. If one of us begins, you have the right to call the other. If one of us begins trying to be false, young, cool, you have the right to call them out.
Oh, it's the worst. You know what I'm talking about too. Like you just see those guys that, like they're always they say words like fresh. You know.
There's nothing wrong with saying fresh.
No, I know, but in the
Recently.
context of vegetables, not like in the context of like, look at this fresh app or something. And then
Oh my gosh.
off the belt. There's like a cell phone belt thing that with her tucked in polo.
Oh.
The holster thing. I apologize to anyone who may have a holster.
I
Don't stop doing that. Just
I admit when I first got a cell phone, which wasn't until like sophomore year of college,
Like, yeah.
I wore the holster because I was that cool.
you wore a holster and I did not make fun of you.
Well, I wore it over the summer because I got it because I was a camp administrator, so we like checked in the different camps, like the Senior Olympics and stuff that stayed in the band camps that stayed over the summer, and so I needed a cell phone, and so I got one, and I was like, this thing is too cumbersome in my pocket, so I wore it on a holster.
You're like, well, this is just ridiculous to
Yeah.
wear.
That's even forgivable. Like that's not like a big deal. I get it because it was back in the day. You know, it's still like 10-ish years ago, I guess, maybe more.
That's my excuse.
That's kind of when cell phones were really like. I'm assuming it was like right around the birth of the iPhone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think the iPhone was around yet. People had iPods. That was the newest technology.
Yeah.
It was if I can date it, I believe the hot phone at the time was the was it the Droid, like the slick Droid? What is it now? It was a flip phone. Flip phone technology had just come out.
Ooh, like the Matrix.
The Razor, like RAZR.
Razor. There it is. The Razor. Yes, the Razor had just come out, and that was like the slick hip phone. It was like you can play games on it. It
Dude,
guesses what your texts are.
it has a 2-megapixel camera.
Yeah, it's dope, guys. It's the future.
Well, I was the
Yeah,
dummy
right.
that's like, I'm just gonna take photos with my phone, or I'm just gonna make phone calls with my phone. I don't want to take photos. What a stupid idea!
Yeah.
And now all that I use my phone for is taking photos and talking to nobody.
Yeah.
You
You know.
know what I love? Like it's when so all this technology comes out, right? And immediately there's like probably 20 or 30, or I would say 20 or 30, maybe like one or two rap songs that come out, like that have obviously been paid to advertise this in their song. Like I remember there was a song, I think it was like in 2007 or 8 or something. It was called like "If You Up" on my MySpace page, and I YouTubed it like 3 months ago, and I was like, I can't believe this was real,
See, now I feel like you're making up stuff. Like, there's no way that.
Not at all, dude. I'm gonna Google this right now. Hold on.
Well, that was I saw like the Monica Lewinsky TED Talk, and she's like mentioned in 30 or 40 rap songs. You guys are like that like flush for material. Where you're like throwing a line about Monica Lewinsky. That's gonna go well.
Guys, let's take gangster rap to a new edgy level. Monica Lewinsky.
We're gonna get political now.
Oh man. Oh, you mean talk about like police brutality? No.
No.
Monica Lewinsky.
There was cop killer at the time. That was somewhat controversial. Hey guys.
Absolutely. What was I listening to at that time? Probably ska.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Hey, let's talk about ska.
What was I listening to this week while I was working? Ska. Because I have no taste.
You know what ska.
I have no taste, so I'm listening to ska.
What are your ska?
Present company excluded.
Thank you.
Oh, there's one that I've been listening to recently called the Ska Skank Redemption.
Okay.
Fantastic name for a band.
One I can give them up. They have tons of names.
They just have like an EP at the moment, but it is quite good. Quite good. Then the Aquabats, of course. I love the Aquabats.
Yeah, totally.
I love the Aquabats a little too much.
You can't do that.
Is that not possible? Well, that's good to know. That's
it's impossible.
And what's another good one? Like I listened to some Streetlight Manifesto. I don't know if you've done any of that.
I just got into them because I was really into Catch-22.
Catch-22 is great. Yeah.
I did not realize there was a connection until Up and Out Comics was like, I'm listening to Streetlight, and I was like, maybe I should listen to Streetlight, and I was like, wait a minute, I know this voice.
They're really good. They've done like their last tour and stuff, and I saw them when they came here to Nashville. I was one of the 20 old people in the balcony.
Yes.
Represent, along with the parents of some of the band members. No, literally, they said, my mom and dad is here, and they were sitting next to me.
Oh.
And I was like, yes.
I went to a They Might Be Giants show, and they shined the spotlight on us because we were up in the balcony, and they said, hey, you look sleepy. And it was because we had arrived an hour before we were supposed to be there.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, wow.
Got called out. That's my claim to fame. Got called out by They Might Be Giants for looking old and tired because my wife and I were old and tired.
How about they so they landed, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? You guys watch that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sing like all the songs.
It's crazy.
Like they really are just kind of they wrote like the hot dog song for that show and a whole bunch of other random tracks like on their on those episodes.
Yeah, I saw that. When I searched for them on Spotify, it's all the Mickey Mouse songs come on, and it's just like whoops.
No, my audio dropped when we were talking about ska. That's not allowed. That's not allowed.
When you try to freehand this hot rod.
Ska bands are just fun.
They are fun, man. Like honestly, I haven't listened to a lot of ska these days in a while. I mean, it's just because I remember all the old ones that I was obsessed with forever.
Oh, dude, I love that, Wes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I should center him on the screen there.
Oh man, Steven, that's great too. He's like all buff and wild-haired.
I can't see you guys though. Like, I mean, I can see Wes, but I can't see yours. Like, kind of big. Is there a way I can enable that whenever you talk?
Yeah, I know. I've been having to manually switch between you guys today.
Oh my!
Before it was just popping up.
You can, I think you can double click on whoever you are, and it should just pop up.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, yours is nice, Steven.
Oh, thanks. Nick, yours is badass, dude. Look at that. He's so jolly. He's looking towards better things. It's a great, I mean, it's sad that he died, of course. But that's very, fitting. I would put that, on my gravestone. Sorry to be dark. I won my third scotch.
Oh, boy. I didn't go scotch this time. I went a little lighter so that I could remain very lucid while we're talking.
There you go.
I am very sleep deprived, however. So.
Oh no!
But that's
halfway through beer. Does that count?
That's a constant state of being. So, what were your go-to ska bands, Steven, in the day?
Back in the day, I was, I religiously followed Less Than Jake. I went to 9 of their shows.
Awesome.
I was such a huge fan up through Hello Rockview, and then after one,
Let's say Hello Rocky is amazing. I love that.
It's such a good album. Here's how nerdy I was. Like I had the hugest boner for that band. I put them in my what is it, yearbook?
Promote?
I quoted, yeah, my yearbook quote was their was one of their songs. So it was like nobody knew what the hell I was talking about, but I knew.
What
And,
song was it? Now I gotta know.
oh God, that's the thing is like it's been a while. It's like second to last. It starts out with like these horns, like every song they have.
It was like the
Slow
second to
down.
last one. That would have been like the Scott. Was that the Scott Farkas thing?
That's it. Scott Farkas takes one on the
Take
chin.
none on the chin.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that song was incredible, man. I was such a huge fan of those guys. And
They're still
I
going.
saw them at Warped Tour in 2001, and we go to their show, and some guy throws a bottle in the mosh pit, and the band stops playing and like screams at him like real angrily, like, "Hey, that's fucked up,"
Nice.
Quit doing that.
That's very impolite.
Nice.
That was pretty awesome.
Look, people are here to have fun, not bleed. It's nice. That's the Scott thing. You dance instead of beating each other up. It's Yeah, less than Jake. They're still going, still making stuff, and it's good.
Yeah, they were great. Voodoo Glow Skulls. A lot of
yeah.
a lot of that like era of ska, and even the earlier stuff like Op Ivy and all that.
Operation Ivy's, gosh, the best.
They were incredible.
Oh man, they were ridiculous.
Man, I feel left out. I was over here listening to like Two Skinny Jays. Right, guys? Right?
You're listening to McFront a lot.
Yeah. I feel like you might beat me up if you had known me in high school. No.
Did you guys ever get, you know what I do miss about ska shows was there was always one dude dressed up in a suit.
Yeah.
Like the mod kids,
Rude boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some rude boy who like spent a lot of money at the thrift store on like a suit that he would skank around. It's so incredible. I'm like, that guy's devoted.
That's the thing about like the like that streetlight show is a bunch of shirtless teenagers just smashing into each other on the floor. And
True,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not going down with the shirtless teenagers. I might get arrested if I'm down there with shirtless teenagers.
Oh, you mean now? I think you meant like back then.
Oh no, back then I probably would have gone in there and like been hitting them in the back or something.
Kick in the face.
I would get involved in that a little bit, a wee bit.
I didn't
Not a
realize
lot.
you were so tough, Nick.
I kind of stayed on the fringes of mosh pits. I did not really get deeply into that.
I,
Some of my friends would go in there and go bouncing around. Usually some poor girl would get trapped on the side, and like people would be hurtling at her, and I would kind of stand next to her and like knock guys out of the way,
Yeah.
kind of
always
thing.
a gentleman there.
Yeah, trying to get over with some girl, and then it never worked. So
They always go for the mosh pit boys, I guess. I don't know. Dark guys. The mysterious,
The mysterious
dark and
moshers.
mysterious guys.
I feel like that should be, what was your last concert you attended? You guys still go to shows?
No, man, who has time?
You're right.
My last show? Wow. I saw the Flaming Lips in here, not like near our house, And they put on one of the best shows I've ever seen. They're so incredible.
Yes. I saw them once. They're crazy.
Yeah. That was it though. It's been a while since before that. I remember the best show. One of the best shows I saw was Smashing Pumpkins had reunited. Like I think in 2005 or I'm sorry, 2006 or 2007 or something. And they played 20 shows. 10 were in California and 10 were in Asheville, North Carolina.
what the heck?
Yeah, it was so random. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
It's like,
And
when do you
so,
guys
of
live
course,
here or
I waited
something?
up-
Yeah. I'll do a concert, but only if we get to play Asheville.
It was probably one of the best shows I saw because it was in a tiny room and they only sold like a few hundred tickets per show.
Yeah.
And they had there's this company called Big Ass Fans, and they make these
Yeah.
fans like the size of Buicks that they put on the ceiling and they cool the entire crowd off because they're so large, and if they fell they would kill everyone, and in terrible ways. But that
But
was
it was a comfortable show. That's all that matters.
yeah, exactly. And they had like
Always nice.
4 bars. That's great.
It's nice. That stuff is always so ridiculously hot at those things.
It really is. What about you guys? What was the last show you guys saw?
Let's see. My last one was the Streetlight actually. I've been thinking about doing I was a fan of a band called Bomb the Music Industry. I still am. But he's kind of their front man's moved on to some other stuff, and he's coming to town, and I'd really like to go, just because I admire his work, because he's always like holding his music's always a side project, you know. It's like doing another job and still doing music. He's just like that dedicated to it. But I would undoubtedly be like 10 years older than everyone there. That's what I was debating on Twitter that day. I'm like, if I wore a hat, would I just look like a guy trying to cover up and look like he's younger?
Yeah.
But I mean, otherwise I'm like a skinhead, or I'm like an old bald guy. You know.
You just wear a cardigan.
What is the way to do this? Just don't wear a cardigan with it.
Yeah. Or you know those flowered Hawaiian shirts? That's instant narc, you know.
So I shouldn't wear my penny loafers, is what you're saying on that
but
day.
They're so comfortable.
But that's one I'm debating doing. I can't remember what my last one before that was. I can't even remember. It's been so long. I went to see Ben Queller at Mercy Lounge.
Oh wow, how's
with
that?
my wife not that long ago. Oh, it was so great. Mercy Lounge is this super cool venue here in Nashville. It's just like this small upstairs room, you know, it's very intimate and small, and there's like a train that goes by outside real slow and quiet. It was awesome.
Is that the one with a stage that's like not even a foot high?
Oh yeah, you can just walk up there.
Yeah, no.
Totally
we went there once to see Joanna Newsom.
Mm.
Because my wife loves her, and it was just like, this is a hot mess. We're not coming back.
I went there to see him once, and they were awesome. And then yeah, I went to see Ben Queller. That was pre-kids. That was not too long before Jude was going to be coming on the scene. We went and did that, and that was a lot of fun. They just are so good. Like they play so tight together. They play so well together. I mean, just not a missed note all night. It was neat. Good stuff.
That's awesome. Did you ever hear of this band called it was the Bens, B-E-N-S,
yes.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it was incredible. It was like Ben Lee, Ben Folds, and Ben Queller. Yeah. And this, I remember them kind of touring around the country, and I was really trying to make the drive somewhere, you know, anywhere. But obviously I just never got the money. So.
I love the Bens. Didn't Rusty play that all the time, Wesley, in one of our graphic design classes?
So yeah, Rusty was one of our design teachers. I think he played it. He played all the cool music.
Yes.
He was like the cool, because he even was like in the music industry. He like designed stuff for a Christian label, maybe.
Yeah, Provident.
Yeah, which is big in Nashville, you know, which is real common where we're at.
Is there like a big Christian scene in Nashville? Or you know, it's like a Christian music scene?
There is. There's interestingly enough, like all the scenes are kind of picking up in Nashville. Like, so there's still the country scene, but there's also like there's an independent rock scene. You know, we have stuff like Nick, you're gonna have to help me out. Kings of Leon came from Nashville.
Kings of Leon would be the main one, yeah.
Ben Folds lives here.
Yeah, Ben Folds lives here now.
Jack White lives here.
Yeah.
The Black Keys are here. There's somebody else who like moved down. There's a few other Delta Saints who are like an up and coming band. They're Nashville. I don't know if they're Nashville natives or from Nashville. And then you have stuff like Megan Taylor who did All About That Bass. She's from Nashville.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of like.
So are you saying they're pulling a scene though? Like these different musicians are like bringing the scene with them?
I think so. I mean, Ben Folds lives here now, so he's definitely like he's pulled part of that scene, and they're all like developing. What I think Bully is a band that's like up and coming. It's like a female-led rock band, and they're here. So I'm sure every town has some of that stuff. I don't know.
That's awesome, man. So seriously,
Music City.
We are Music City.
Yeah, and then Wesley and I live here. So
yeah, which is
other famous artists are here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I would
don't know if you can get bigger.
I don't care about the others, just you guys.
Aw. It's touching, you know.
That's it. Dads gotta stick together.
Yeah,
We got mediocre drawings of Roddy Piper and
yeah. And
talking about
children.
bands that were too old to see, and yeah.
Let's see. I'll tell you, my last concert was Ray LaMontagne. He did a acoustic show.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely nice.
Yeah, well, he canceled once because he had like lost his voice, and then when we went again, he played at the Ryman, so we checked him out at the Ryman, and like, man, those were probably the most disrespectful audience I think I've ever seen. It's just like everybody was on phones, people were talking. It's like he's playing
Gosh.
acoustically, so like, you know, can't
Man,
really.
Sufjan's coming to the Ryman.
Oh, Sufjan Stevens.
I really want to go. I saw him the last time he came, and it was just so good.
So I have was it Bring the Illinois by him?
Yeah.
He tried to do that 50 states albums. It was like Illinois and I forgot the other one, but like he quit.
He did Michigan.
Yeah,
I think he quit it like 2. I don't remember anymore after that, but I haven't checked on him in a while. I was like, wow, that's really bold. 50 albums,
we can't rush it, you know.
Yeah, this was during Illinois that he came through, and it was really cool. And some people will do stuff like when he did the encore, he did it completely unplugged, like no microphones or anything at all, and it was so cool.
God, that sounds awesome.
Guster did that too when I saw them at the Ryman. They did complete because that's the way it was back in the day there, and the acoustics in that room are crazy. They can play with no mics, and you can hear them, and that was awesome.
Guster's from Nashville, right?
What's that?
Guster's from Nashville, right?
You know, they've recorded here,
Or I thought they stuck around.
and one of their band members was here for a while, but I don't know if they're permanently here. But I think they've recorded here for like all of their stuff lately.
There you go. I feel like we're just now like sounding like elite.
They're connected to us.
You guys have a lot of really cool bands, though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's one thing it would be really incredible to be in Nashville for. It's just kind of all this new and up and coming music. Because I remember like when my wife and I went there to visit, like her sister, my sister-in-law was living there for a while, and so we actually made the trip down and spent like Christmas through New Year's there.
Oh, nice.
Seeing like all these bands just kind of there in the streets. I mean, not in the streets, but like any bar you would walk into with somebody trying to make it. That's why there was a really cool vibe. It was fun to just kind of like see these people like try their hardest, and there was thousands of bands just like trying to make it. Oh yeah, and we went to a karaoke bar, and they were real selective. Like if you sucked balls at karaoke, you got kicked off.
Nice.
Nashville.
That's funny.
Because they were really like other people are trying to make their name here. Get the hell off the stage.
That's hilarious.
You must have been downtown Nashville.
Yeah, we were
hilarious.
Like whatever. I guess would you guys call it the Strip or something?
At Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the tourists go.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, we were too. I'm not gonna lie.
No, and I think also cool people go there, and I'm just not one of them.
Yeah, you got me. I don't know if I've gone down the Strip once or twice, like only because I had to.
Get yourself some cowboy boots.
Yeah. How's everybody's Roddy coming along?
Not too bad. Mine's more of like a grouchy Roddy Piper.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
He was the villain, right?
He was often a heel.
Oh, look at that, throwing the wrestling terms in there.
To Hogan, yeah. That was the first WrestleMania, I think. Was he and Hogan? I think that's right.
Is that right? I think it was
it was like Mr. T and Roddy and Hogan versus Roddy Piper and like Paul Orndorff or something like that. I'm revealing that I know way too much about wrestling.
Dude, it's okay. I get it. I totally get it.
We're all judging you right now. All 4 viewers. Hey, 4 viewers, how's it going? Feel free to judge Nick right now.
Was Andre the Giant the first one? Like, I feel like I remember Hogan like body
Yeah,
slamming Andre the
body
Giant.
slamming him. Yeah.
I don't know if that was the first one or not, but I remember watching those tapes, like the history of WrestleMania. You know, they were
Yes.
always really interesting to see, especially with like the ones they would chime in on Mick Foley because he was completely insane. I think we lost Nick.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
dropped again. I'm back again.
You're missing out on the wrestling talk.
Oh no, I can't miss out on that.
I remember Andre's thing, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell you when it happened. I was not watching wrestling at the
I'm
time.
such a mark for See, I'm trying to throw out even more wrestling terms that don't even apply to anything we're talking
There you
about.
go, a mark. Nice.
Are we talking about Andre Hogan?
Yeah.
That's WrestleMania 3.
Well,
Okay.
there you go. Nick, our historian, wrestling historian. Yeah.
Yes. And I was valedictorian of my high school.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Did you give a speech?
I did.
What'd you give a speech on? You remember?
I talked about pro wrestling.
He did. He did. How incredibly irrelevant.
I was like, a lot of your teachers I know seem like real heels.
Yeah. Got
Right.
me.
Anybody get it?
Dude.
I imagine you with like one drummer back there.
I talked about
Good.
how the real purpose of school and the real good that could come of school, in my opinion. So
You
that's what I
remember it?
You know, it's something to the effect of all of the imperceptible things it prepares you for in life, like having to wake up and go somewhere every day and be somewhere, regardless of if you want to or not. You know, how to get along with people, stuff like that.
Learned how to survive in an office.
Yeah, you know, getting out of it what you put into it, if you will, a little bit.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
that's what I talked about. Yeah,
Here's the thing. Several years later now.
that was decent. That was decent when I was 18.
Yeah. Do you still hold up?
And I also talked about how the train would probably pass by in the middle of my speech, and it did.
Oh, nice.
Especially in my hometown. Yeah.
You get a good laugh out of that.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's like a good public speaking laugh moment, you know?
It was going when I walked up there, and I'm like, I checked my watch every day this week when the train went by, and I was like, it's going to go by when I'm up there. And it totally did. Because I was the last guy.
Oh yeah. Yours a big keynote.
Yeah. I was like, Roddy Piper once said.
Oh my God! So when I was a sophomore in high school, Ted DiBiase came to our school. You know, the $1 Million Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he basically like, you know, what's funny was like all the wrestling fan kids brought signs like you would see at WWE in the crowd. You know? They would say like where's Virgil, you know, and all these different like tag team characters. And it was the funniest thing I ever seen, man. But he basically just talked about how he was like all jacked up on drugs forever and don't do them. You know, steroids are bad.
Oh, wow. Drugs are bad. Okay.
It was the craziest thing ever. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, how did they land you? How much are we paying you?
Don't do drugs. One day you'll thank me $1 million.
Hey.
Yeah, kids.
Oh.
So I have a cousin that's a huge wrestling fan, and he's met Roddy Piper, you know.
Oh wow.
And so like he put up like the photo of him with Roddy Piper, you know, this week on like Instagram or whatever. But apparently Roddy Piper like he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life at that time. Like he asked him what he did professionally, and he's like, and he like grabbed him and pointed at his girlfriend. He's like, you should keep her. And he wound up marrying her. So now he's like, I married her because Roddy Piper told me to.
That's good.
I was like, that's a crazy story.
That maybe not be how you want to define it.
That's bold. That's
Yeah.
bold of Roddy.
Yeah.
He goes, she's pretty. You should keep her.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks, Roddy. I was already kind of planning on doing that, but thank you for being woven into my life.
There you go. Saving marriages over there. Relationships.
There you go.
Right, I think I'm almost done with my Piper.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good. I think I'm at the point if I do too much
Yeah.
to it, I'm just going to mess it up.
I'm at that point.
Done.
I think I started at that point, though, you know.
If I touch this.
If I touch this
No.
blank canvas, I'm going to ruin it.
Program.
Ah, look at that.
Steven.
Succeeded.
What are you using here, Steven? What is this?
Photoshop.
This is Photoshop.
It is.
You have like nifty icons and stuff. I didn't even recognize it. I'm over here using it.
Really? Look. Yeah. No, it's
Check
all
it.
toolbars and junk.
Check it. And then there's Wesley. Oh, I like your hot rod lettering especially.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, I was gonna do the hot rod lettering. I should have done it. I
That's
regret
rad.
not doing it.
I kind of threw it in there.
You can see where I ran out of room.
So this is a 5x5 if anyone would like a print. The
Yeah.
thing I like is this hand down here, and that's a good looking hand. Good.
Oh yeah, down on yours.
You got
Yeah,
two in the pocket,
I had
another
to
two in the
redeem.
pocket.
I had to redeem that horrible Nosferatu hand from last week or 2 weeks ago.
You gotta let go of the past. You really just.
Well, I like put it on Dribble this week. I'm like, I'm gonna put up this Nosferatu drawing and talk about drawing with dads, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that hand looks terrible. But I put it up anyway.
Nice. Did you get any shouts there?
I don't know if anyone's liked it or not.
Are you on Dribble? Do you like that?
I've only put like 3 drawings on it, but it's cool. It's cool.
Wait,
I
what's
like
it called? Is it called Dribble?
Dribble, but with 3 B's.
Whoa, slow down.
I
So
know.
many bees.
It's like, oh no, the domain for it was taken.
Why did we decide to name this thing this?
Do you draw at 300 DPI in Photoshop when you're doing this stuff?
I do. Well, actually, I do 6 whenever I do a comic, but
Yeah.
300 mostly.
I always feel weird about the scale I choose. I never know if I'm doing the right thing.
I have this like standard, so I go 3500 by 3500, you know,
Hmm.
pixels with either a 3 or 6, usually 6 for the comics, but that allows me to like square it off and make a panel. Especially if I do a single. I mean, if it's one of the reasons why is like I try and make it as friendly to all the sites I use, and one of the most like demanding ones is Instagram because they only allow that box format for their photos, you know.
Right.
And so if I have it in a square already, then it just kind of works perfectly.
You guys are going to school me to the point that I actually start drawing something.
Oh, that's what our goal is.
That's the evil master plan.
Yeah, I mean, start a strip.
What's our next drawing?
Let's see. We can do drawing cartoon characters from our generation as old people. We can do pirates, or we can do luchadors playing Settlers of Catan. Or if anyone in the chat over here has a suggestion, we are welcome to take those as well.
Throw it out.
Throw it out there. You know, you gotta pitch it every now and then. Am I hogging the screen? No. Okay. Good.
I'm gonna tweet this out. I saw that you guys been. Wait, Wes, you threw out some drawings, right, for this? Should we throw out
Right.
these? For the...
Whereas I have like 200 followers, you guys are reaching the thousands. You're all famous.
Well, you know,
I want to leech off your success. I mean,
I don't know if you call it success.
Yeah. There's no. I say like it really depends. I mean, there's like a crew. A lot of the people that retweet your stuff are mostly other webcomic artists. You know, it's a really cool environment and community to be a part of.
yeah, I'm liking. I've been following some more webcomic folks and finding some more stuff, and
There's some
there's
amazing
some
stuff
just
out there.
great stuff out there.
Speaking of great stuff, look at that segue. Doodle for Food is on there. If you haven't read her comic, it is terrific. And she's asking if we all use Photoshop. I think Nick and Steven, you're both in Photoshop, right?
Hey,
I've been using Photoshop so far this time. I've been playing with the Manga Studio, but I wanted to use my cool tilted brush today. So
Nice. Yeah, are you using any special brushes?
I've got all of my insane amount of presets over here. So
Very nice.
that's all the ones by Kyle Webster. I was talking about those last time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just been using this Tilty pencil the most right now, but I'm about to dive into some of the inks, I think. So
There you go. Drop the Kyle Webster brush.
yeah, mess around a bit. I know he's a dad. I'm sure he'll want to draw with us.
Yeah, that'd be great. I wish we get guests. I mean, we are, like guest artists.
I'm gonna have to tweet him some of these drawings once I accumulate enough, because I really do love his stuff. I'm just like, dude, thank you for doing this stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, guess would be the goal. I guess. Oh wait, to go back to the question, though, I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm using Manga Studio. So, And Steven, you usually use Photoshop for your stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. God, it's. I mean, I want to transition and try manga to see what it offers, you know. But I mean, so the first episode I used Mischief, just because I was on a laptop. That's all I could install, you know, at the time. But by the way, Dude is one of my favorite strips, Megan. So hope I'm glad you're listening to this. That's fantastic. I feel like we're amongst royalty.
Yeah, really. Her and
If anyone at all watches, I feel like it's royalty. That's
Let
let alone super talented people that I'm scared of. So
Yes.
that's even better.
I like that. Are you scared of Megan? She probably could take us in a fight.
I think just about anybody could, really.
Yeah, we're old men, so. Nice.
So, are you guys drawing the old characters now?
Let's see. Well, we had one.
I don't know. I'm just scribbling.
And then we also had a recommendation for the most dad image we can create.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if there's. I mean, that would just be the self-portraits from earlier. I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy, the most dad image.
This one, but minus all the hair.
I would just draw a pair of feet with socks with sandals.
Yeah, black socks on the beach with a camera. That dad.
I think I'm going to try to draw a pirate dad. I'm going to merge them. I'm going to see if I can fit a black sock and sandals around, a peg leg. I think this concept is just crazy enough to work. No, I'm alone. I'm alone in that concept.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, and Travis Ray is here. He draws Legacy Control, which, if you don't check out that one's great too.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one before.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Very cool.
This is a great one. His like colors and stuff are just like mind blowing. I look at that and I throw away my comic. I'm just like, ugh.
Like, look, I do black and white as a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Not because
Not
you
as
can
a
see
skill set. All right, guys, let's just get that clear.
That's one of the hardest things for me is like nail the color. I always just like pick the color I want, then I take the saturation out to make it earthy or something. You know, who is it? Dave Mercier from Merkworks.
Oh yeah.
Strip's incredible, and his colors are great. You know, I mean, I just wish I could pick him like that. I guess I don't really know. Like especially with his he had that spin-off series that he did. I can't remember the name of it. It's with the character named Slick. It's like a. You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that?
Yeah. It's like a weird like
pyramid scheme or something.
Yeah. And he's like dead, and then there's all these other Slicks, and
yeah, that's
really
right.
good. I feel like we're butchering explaining what he did, but
I know.
Just go to merkworks.com and read it.
If you're listening,
so much we can't explain it. It's that amazing.
I doubt he's listening, but if he is, I apologize. But welcome.
Maybe if I draw it really rough, people won't know I can't draw something in perspective.
Wait, real quick, what are you guys drawing?
Oh, I'm just messing around.
I'm going Pirate Dad, I think. Pirate Dad.
I had thought of something with the punrit.
The punrit?
Maybe I'll do that.
What did you have? Or are you not going to share?
I'll draw it. It's amazing.
I'll draw it. There you go. That's what I like to hear.
I can't think of a single.
It's not amazing, but I am going to draw it.
I can't think of a single pirate pun. Maybe booty.
Booty. You can go with like the ARG and the C.
We could go very grown up and go for the booty.
Oh no. Oh no, I mispronounced his name. It's apparently Javis. I don't know if that's right. I'm sorry, don't stomp away from YouTube. Come on. This is like my fear of streaming is really just that I'm going to mispronounce everyone's name.
Everyone's name.
Yeah, even like my own. Like, hi, I'm Warsley Hall. You know, it's like it all just falls apart on me.
Parsley
People
Wall.
do that here, you know. Instead of wash, they'll say wash.
Warsley
Oh,
Hall.
Nashville, really? I thought that was more of a like a.
And whenever people say that, I just like have like a scream welling inside me.
I wouldn't.
The thing I didn't like was in our photo class, and people would say pitcher instead of picture. Pitcher. Like, it's not a pitcher. You pour water out of that.
Nice. I feel like I've just grown up so much in the South that I've just gotten used to mispronunciations of every word and just. And then in Nashville, everyone is from someplace else. There's like 5 native people from Nashville.
Yeah. I'm
That's
always
good.
the one native Nashvilleian wherever I am.
My wife.
And
is
people are like,
oh,
so where are you from? Because I don't sound like I'm from here, but this is the only place I have lived.
Is it because everybody comes there for the dream? You know, the
Yeah.
American rock and roll dream.
we
It's like, you guys don't have income tax? Cool.
yeah, we're in. My let's see, my family likes to go to like Cheesecake Factory on Christmas Eve. It sounds like, I don't know, this already sounds bad. And they like to harass whoever the waiter is and ask them like, where are you from and stuff. And inevitably they're from out of town, and they've come from out of town to pursue their passion. So every Christmas we have a band to look up. It's really what it is.
Like, oh, pursue your passion. I code emails.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds like LA, like everybody's an actor, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like people in LA and New York who feel the same way. You're just like, non-locals.
That's like not here at all. Everybody, you go out in Greenville, like everybody's trying to get out of Greenville. You know, they're all waiters who don't want to be here anymore. They're just done. Like, it's not a bad town. It's really kind of up and coming, but the wait staff in the entire town is just kind of sick of it and just ready to like go back to school or hit the road, you know.
Nice. Would you ever leave town? That's a deep question.
Well, it's different now with kids, you know. I mean, this is a good dad topic.
Yeah.
It's just like I guess before I was willing to like hit the road and move to France or Fiji or something. You know, obviously it's a lot more involved now. Even like going to the state over, like, is so much more complicated. Just because finding a daycare and things like that
Yes.
that you would be happy with and all.
I'm just like blown away by how difficult everything is. Like, I don't know how it became all so difficult. Like, because did you have a daycare problem? Like,
Yeah, we actually. So the one we went to, they were great. You know, they had like a chef on staff, and they were fantastic. Very
What?
philosophy about it. But then
You go to like Air Force One daycare? What's going on there?
oh, it was great. No, it's affiliated with the hospital, and they were really cool and down to earth and all this. But there was a wait list for like 2 years, and we didn't get in until my son was like 1.5. And we announced, like, you know, we applied when he was like in the womb, like we were like 2 months pregnant, you know, and it took that long. And so for the first 1.5 years of his life, he went to this really like shitty one that basically fed him nothing but burritos, and you know there was kind of a DSS would stop in a lot to like check out a couple of the parents.
I mean, I'm all for it. This sounds like the greatest place in history. Like, if there's a nursing home run by the same daycare people, like they would just feed me burritos all the time, I would sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Burritos and government officials? Count me in.
Double in. I'm doubling down on that. Let's see, we had one where we went around and we looked for a couple, and one was like, we were like 90, 99, or they promised us we'd get in. Like, this is April, and my daughter was born in August. And they were like, yeah, you totally got this. No worries. And so I was like, cool. And then the day I went back to work, my wife called and was like, hey, just checking in because we're going to be in there. And like, she was able to get a lot of time off because of she works for the state, so she had some days accumulated. So she was like, okay, we're gonna be back in there in November, and they're like, who are you? No, you're in a waiting list, and the soonest we can get you is like February. So we were like, oh, good. Now to scramble to get a daycare.
Oh,
And then we found one, luckily, and but then it turned out to be kind of like one of those horrible ones. So now we've moved to a new one, and it's like great. So, right, guys, you all
how
wanted to talk
horrible though?
about
Like how
daycare.
like when you say horrible, like how bad?
It was like so. I don't know. The best way to describe it, we'll say so. It was ran by a lady, and her mom worked the daycare, like worked in the infant room, and her mom was just like uncommunicative about stuff, and you can't go to her and be like, your mom's being really uncommunicative about things, you know?
Your mom's a jerk.
Yeah, you can't just be like, so hi, I know you own this place, but your mom is like the worst employee.
Fire,
Um,
Tell her, could you
fire
tell
her
her to
now.
step it up in her next performance review, please?
yeah, can you? Yeah. Well, she was uncommunicative, and she was elderly, so she didn't was a little worrisome when you like she picked up the child. You're like, well, maybe don't pick up my child. I mean,
She's
not,
like, well, he had a cold, so I gave him a little bit of scotch, and it
yeah,
just seemed to clear it right up.
you would never really know because you never were like quite clear with what was happening there, and then she didn't really like talk to us much until we found like this other daycare that was closer to like the new house we just moved into. And then she said, like, the only word she really said to us, well, she's going to have a really hard time adjusting. It was just like, thanks, lady. Way to be King Capital over here.
I'll never touch my child.
It was just like, thanks. And then it was just other stuff, like, we came in and she had the wrong pacifier in her mouth once. And
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's always disturbing.
you're like, I don't know where that had gone.
You like grab the pacifier and there's a hair on it, and you're like, what?
Yeah. But we thought maybe it was just an honest mistake or something, but it was just like, it didn't happen another time, and I don't know. There was one lady we really liked who worked there. And so when she was there, it was okay. But then when, it's just like one of those things where you're like, you're being uncommunicative, and my kid's at your daycare all day, and I have no idea what's happening, and I have to trust these sources, and I don't trust these sources. But we found another one that's like much better now, and everyone's like super happy, and like everyone knows my daughter. Like they're all just like, oh, she did this today, and this happened, and oh my gosh, she's so funny, and
That's actually an important thing, man. Is our first daycare that we went to that we hated, there was a huge turnover rate for their people. I remember like my son Sam had like I remember for the time we were there, he went through 7 teachers in like a year.
oh gosh, yeah, that's crazy.
And they just hated their job. They were underpaid, and they were basically like just kind of, trying to make it meet with their own kids.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And I remember I was leaving there like this place sucked. Goodbye forever.
That was the way we felt when we were just like, okay, we're out. Like, let's just not. And then I found out, went to lunch with a girl I worked with, and she was all like, oh yeah, I used to be at that daycare. And she would tell us, like, she told us some behind the scenes stuff, and we were like, we were so glad we got our kid out of there. It was just like, that is crazy. It was a crazy experience. Daycare. If you're having kids, think about where you are and what daycare you're buying. Dad tip. This pirate is terrible. I already feel like this is a bad drawing of a pirate.
That's all right. We have to like fail a few times, right? Like don't we have
Right,
to?
yeah. My goal is to make you all look good here.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Well, that's what a dad does, right?
Right, put others before yourself.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. Not that I can't draw, it's that I'm choosing to draw badly.
Our daycare, like the one we have now is great. A little pricier than it should be. But the one we escaped from, you know, was not too far off from the price we pay now. Like it's like $50 less a month to
Oh
go to
yeah.
a really crappy one. And I remember when we were scouting around for one, there were a few that I was like, "Hey, what's this hole in the wall?" They're like, "Yeah, it was a drive-by like 10 years ago." Like it was just downtown, and I remember they were just like, "Yeah, sorry, I mean that's not that didn't happen in 10 years." I'm like, "Well, it shouldn't happen." So, and I remember the place, like they forgot our names, like when we were touring it, like constantly. They would just not remember our names. They called me Dave.
It's like not even close.
Yeah, it's not even remotely. I'm like, what is the matter? And the whole place smelled like bleach. Like they were obviously just like bleaching everything to clean it.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, we're never coming back here. Sorry, you guys suck.
Jeez. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was one of those horror stories. You're just kind of like, oh,
The guy comes out with a mask and a hose, and he's just spraying bleach all over everything. Just like, who is that guy?
He's like covering the Rugrats. Get out of here, you jerk. It was yeah. That's definitely like kind of a rude awakening to see. It's like going to I don't want to. It's kind of in a way like going to a nursing home. Like you don't really see like what's going on until you actually visit one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just totally not what you expected at all. It just kind of freaks you out.
It was like a really weird, yeah, just like, this is a weird thing that I just did not even like anticipate being a difficult. I knew that people in like New York or whatever have like the fancy daycares and stuff like that. I thought like, no, it's not a big deal. You just get a daycare. Nope. Apparently a pain in the butt. Let's switch the topic back to drawing.
You guys want to talk about?
Is there anything you hate drawing? There you go. I'll facilitate this. For me, it's cars.
Oh my God! Right? Yeah, cars are terrible.
I think it's like, I don't know, it's like the quintessential group of people. I
Oh
don't.
no. So if we talk about things I can't draw, I'm going to start getting depressed.
I don't know.
Cars would definitely be one of them.
You're like hands people.
Vehicle is like pretty much my peeve.
See, like I love drawing hands. I really enjoy it, actually.
Oh, do you?
I just sit around and sketch hands all the time.
Now, I
I'm that
can't
guy.
tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
Oh no, I do. I love it. I love it. Like that's what I'm always sketching in the corner of my notes or whatever for a meeting is a bunch of hands.
Now, do you have like a hand pose you prefer? You default to?
You'll do like the open one. You'll do a fist. You do like just crazy curled fingers, stuff like that. Usually, sometimes I'll just distort it to places where it shouldn't even be allowed to go. I guess that kind of loses some of the technical finesse.
See, I like doing that, like molding out hands to just like a weirdness.
Kind of fun. There are these books by what's his name? Andrew Loomis, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so like you can find some of those just online for free because they're just really old and out of print. And he has stuff about like drawing hands and everything, and I enjoy kind of reading that and messing with that.
His anatomy, yeah. So I guess it's like his anatomy book is what you're referring to.
Yeah, there's several of them. There's one all about the human head. There's one that's, yeah, just general anatomy. He's a big influence on what's his name? Alex Ross always mentions Andrew Loomis. Yeah, and you can see it once you see his stuff. It's not really classic like. Trying to think of like what I'd like the golden age, if you will. People drawing beautiful stuff for like an ad for a dress or cigarettes. And it's like this gorgeously rendered. It's kind of that quintessential style.
Like Baron Story,
Impeccably dressed people doing things.
The world needs more of that.
Yeah,
A return to that.
Everyone looks like Cary Grant. And they're selling you baby food.
course, it's like
See,
laced with cocaine or arsenic. So,
cars would be
whatever.
one. You know, one thing that I actually am terrible at drawing, if I don't have a reference, like if I'm just kind of drawing from memory, is like female form stuff. Cannot draw women well at all.
You're not alone in that.
That is something I need to practice. I just feel like I never do it justice. I'm like, that looks like a guy with thick eyelashes.
Yeah.
Hey, how X-rated can we go in this?
Oh man,
What's that?
dads are over 21.
Yeah.
Dad's are over 21. I don't want to like.
Do your
I
thing,
can
man.
blur it out.
You're like, when I'm drawing hentai, I really have a trouble.
Wow. You just threw it there. I did not expect that hentai from you.
I, of course, have never seen it, but I know what it is.
Sure. How that's plausible. Don't Google search that. Just
Do not search for that. No.
Okay, I know exactly what it is. Just because of college.
college. Yeah, you had to take hentai 101.
Right.
Hentai.
That hentai film appreciation class that you had to slog through. It's horrible.
For what I call awkward roommate.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
That's not true. I didn't have a terrible roommate.
The freshman year I did, man, he was he lied a lot, you know?
Oh yeah?
And so it was kind of an issue. Like it really kind of just, but it was about the dumbest stuff. It wasn't about like, I guess I wouldn't call it like a problem. It was just really like he would tell me these confounded stories about like how he would buy all these crazy drugs and have this great time downtown, and just it was so obviously fake and dumb. He told me one time he met Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, like downtown in Columbia, South Carolina, and you know, I just like immediately afterwards I was like, no way, it's real. So I googled like their tour schedule, you know, and I proved him wrong in like 10 minutes. But he was just like sticking to the lie. I was just like, this is
why would he say that?
I have no idea. It was just so stupid.
So did he just think you look like a druggie? And he's like, this is the way to impress this guy.
I know what to do.
Like, I've got the perfect plan. There's no way he can figure me out here.
Obviously, this man's down with the drugs. Let me make up some stories.
Crazy. I had a guy who he was just he was a little off. You know, he was like a nice guy, but he was just off. You know.
Yeah.
So it was weird. Did you ever meet him, Nick? He was like Paxton's old roommate too. He went from me to this other guy that was like, Paxton looks almost identical to me, so it's just like, I don't even know if this guy will notice that he has a change in roommates. But I think my friend had the worst one, where it was, the guy just, something happened and he lost his like football scholarship, and he was off his medication, and he had to be kicked off of campus, and like my friend kept letting him in, and like they were like, you have to stop letting him in. It was just like really crazy. Fun times, right, guys?
We had this one guy in our hall who was like fifth string on the football team for Carolina, and like so we never saw any real action. He was pretty much just like practice for the other guys who were good. And,
like a
punching
moving
bag,
shield,
come here.
yeah, I mean, he was a nice guy. But I remember, like, we had a regular Nintendo, and, you know, we hooked it up to our TV, couldn't believe it worked, and would play, like, all these different games on it. He borrowed it one time, like, towards the end of the year, and wouldn't return it, and refused to return it. And he was just such a jerk about it. We finally got him to return it, but then he's like, hey, can I use your toilet paper? And so we're like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's the last, like, week of the year. And he comes back and he's like, I ran out like after one trip to the bathroom. And so I was just like, oh, what are you eating?
What's going on with this guy?
Yeah, he's such a weird
There's some
dude. And,
shady
like,
activity there.
Where did you go to school? I am uncomfortable.
I know, right? No, I went to USC, Columbia, like South Carolina. Gamecocks. We're that school, like where if you ever see like online, if you go look at our cheerleaders, it actually says like game on some of their pants and Cox on the other ones.
Oh,
Poor choice. It's a
Where
poor
do you-
choice, guys.
it's not
Yeah,
the
it's
best
not.
wording.
No, it's not the
Yeah,
best
it took
player.
an
But
hentai
I mean,
class
we used to
design.
change it despite like all
It's
everything.
Coach Spurrier, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, way to go.
Oh man, I
Yes.
look like I know about sports. Yes,
Nice.
I
that's literally the only sports fact I know.
We should talk about how little you know, not you know, but just dads know in general about sports. Like I've lost all my knowledge of sports, which I mean I didn't have much to begin with, but
I was gonna say you had any. I feel like
You already had me beat.
I
yeah.
know, right?
I feel
I
like
did
I
I did
any
season
knowledge.
tickets to Vanderbilt basketball for like 15 years, something like that.
Oh
My
yeah.
dad has gone to those since like the 80s. But then when baby 3 came along, I was like, I can't leave my wife alone with 3 kids, so I didn't. But that's my only sports knowledge is basketball. And even then, I'm just like, the guy threw the ball in there. Yay, jump up and down.
Basketball is the worst to watch when you're trying to do something else. My roommate would watch basketball, and it would just be like squeak, 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 and then you would hear the little swoosh of the net, and then you would hear everyone cheer, and it was just
Yeah, what's great about it is that it's fast paced and it's
yeah,
like too intense for drawing projects.
yeah, yeah. It's like I wish there was some other noise on screen right now.
I often watched Kung Fu while I was working.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now David Carradine kung fu or like
Oh yeah, I'm talking
okay.
ba-da-da,
Yeah,
ba-da-da. Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
absolutely.
That show amazes me because everyone can tell immediately that he's half Asian. Not me.
They're just like, crap, he's like 6 feet tall. How are we gonna get away with this?
Yeah, they're just like, oh, you look half Asian. And I'm like, how do you know?
That's like on
David
one of
Carradine.
those. It was like maybe season 2. They had this special feature thing where he's like hanging out with the cast of Kill Bill because
Oh
it was
yeah.
around that time, like at a restaurant, and he and like what's his name, Madsen. They're like totally hammered, like
That's
so bad. And they're like talking to him like, so you're just born to play this role, and he's like, no, 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 you're not born to play a role. And he like goes on this thing, and then I watched the commentary on one of the episodes. He's like, I was just born to play this role. It's like meant to be.
Like
And then
look
there's
at
one where he visited the Great Wall of China, and at the end he played America the Beautiful on the piano.
of course, why wouldn't he? That all makes sense. That sounds
Weird
logical.
dude.
what is it? Oh, did you ever see his workout routine? He came up with it was a workout video, and it was
Uh,
basically just like a tube of it was a tube like part of a garden hose, and he was like, you just follow it around, let your body do it, you know. It was the dumbest thing ever. Like, please YouTube it because I'm not going to do it justice, but it's David Carradine's workout video. It's dumb as hell, and it's basically like pay $49.99 for like a piece of rubber hose and get in your backyard and look like an idiot.
I love it. I love it.
come in. It's a steal for $49.99.
What a steal!
Like it was just crazy. Like this episode, he's like, this woman was in this one episode, and he's like, wasn't I married to her?
Oh, he dropped out.
Oh no, I do remember my roommate watched the commentary as well, and it was the same stuff. Like David Carradine would be like, "I never read any of the scripts other than my part, so this is all new to me." He's just like watching it, as it goes on, and you're just like, "How do you not know anything about the show? And why didn't you just watch the episode ahead of time? It's not like they couldn't have you know." But he's just like in the room, like, "Oh, that's funny. When do I come on again? Okay, in like 20 minutes. Okay, cool." It's like I don't
It's
remember any
like
of this.
Brando putting lines all around the city.
Yeah, Carradine and Brando just pretty much doing the same stuff.
What is it like? You ever heard any commentary about Steven Seagal, but not by Steven Seagal?
I've heard like that people just don't believe that he is what he says he is, but that's
Yeah,
So
he
Seagal.
thinks he's like a demigod or something. He's just
I
that
was
type
gonna
of guy.
say Seagal, like he's like one of the few like how to put this, white people that can teach what he teaches in Japan, I believe.
but yeah.
And yeah, they think that he's like this reincarnated llama or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like a total like psychopath. Like
I know.
some of his other things, Blues album is absolutely terrible. First off, and Yeah, he has a terrible, terrible blues album. Like,
Did you just say blues album? I just want to make sure.
yeah, I swear to God, dude, it is garbage.
Well, is it better or worse than Bruce Willis's? Like,
Oh gosh.
No, because I'll give Bruce Willis like some harmonica skills, you know, even though it's garbage too. Like it's God, we should do a whole segment on bad celebrities with bad bands, by the way, because I've got a million.
well, here's the other question: is it worse than The Simpsons Sings the Blues? Right. Let's just go through all the classic great blues albums.
Well, they had the Dart Man, which is kind of a hit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, no. So I would. Here's my hierarchy of bad celebrity bands. All right.
Okay. Let's hear him.
Worst is definitely Seagal's like bullshit, whatever the hell he's doing band. Um, Number two would probably be like Russell Crowe's terrible band, where he's like all breathy, in his vocals.
I kind of hope the band is just called Russell Crowe's Terrible Band. The name of the band.
And then I would say Dogstar, which is Keanu Reeves' band. He plays bass for it. It's so shitty.
Is it that bad?
It's just not good, It's just like they phoned it in, and it's just he's trying to be emotional, which he's really bad at already.
Wow. Dude have you read like his life story stuff? Man, it's just like it is a bummer. Like
No, yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, like his girlfriend committed suicide, I think.
yeah, right or right after she was pregnant or she was supposed to give birth, and then I think they lost the baby and her maybe in childbirth, and his like mother moved around a lot, and I don't know. It was just a bummer. It's like,
Keanu, huh?
yeah, he just has like a.
I just saw this video on YouTube that was going around of him giving a woman his seat on the bus.
Yeah, he's like a super nice guy though. He's
Yeah.
like super chill.
You know what I love is the fake stories about him. Like they'll every once in a while. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's super nice. He rides the bus. He just like he doesn't want to like be flashy, and he makes his movies are a little bit more thought out than I would think. Some people who just can't act like Nicolas Cage. But some of the stories like they're like, yeah, I was just sitting there in the bus, and there was this baby crying, and Keanu walked into the bus and like walked over the baby all gently like Jesus, and he whipped out his nipple and started breastfeeding it right there, and everybody was cool with it. It's just so obnoxious and stupid, but they treat him like he's the Messiah. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, how have I not heard of this? This is wonderful.
All right, well now, okay, go back to your crappy celebrity bands list here. Who else is on it? You left off at Dogstar.
Oh, Dogstar. So like next, I guess Bruce Willis's band would probably be up there, because they're just not good. It's just I get what he's trying to do, but the '80s is over. Just move on. I mean, I love him. Like honestly, he's a hero for bald men.
I was gonna say, you mentioned Jason Statham, in your comic. Like Bruce Willis has always been my bald hero. Well, John McClane.
Yeah, it totally was. And did you guys see Looper?
I did not.
Still have not seen that.
Oh my god, watch it. It's not a bad film, but like I like it. It's time travel. It's all that, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like makeup job is kind of weird, but because we're trying to turn him into a young Bruce Willis, but it's just kind of that uncanny valley.
Oh yeah.
Jobs. But Bruce Willis comes out and just like does the most crazy action sequences. You're like, yes, here we go. This is Die Hard, So go see that. I recommend it to our listeners. Our 4. Do we have 4 still?
We have 6. Thank you for sticking around, listeners.
Thanks, guys. 6.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Jared Leto's band, you guys know him?
Yeah.
Like his band, like 30 Seconds to Mars?
Yeah, they were mentioning that. I watched they mentioned that in the chat there. I watched the documentary about him and his band. Did you see this? I may be alone in this. It was terrible.
That what his documentary was?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I mean, I want to feel for the guy because I get it. Like his band was like screwed out of like a ton of money and stuff. And they were trying to explain how like the system was set up to kind of like rig everyone, or rig bands so that they don't make money, but the corporation makes money. But then
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna go film in this famous like architect house. And I think like at the same time as he's just like, the band doesn't have any money. It's just like, what? How are you able to like wake up at noon every day and do all this? It didn't make any sense to me. I felt hard. I felt like I don't know if I can feel bad for you. Like this seems like too pretentious.
Yeah, I mean, he's got enough acting money, I feel like,
Yeah, I mean maybe that's it, but it was really strange. Let's see from the forum. Let's see they say or from the chat. People agree with you that Looper is fun. Oh, Brandon Pew Pew's here. Hello, Brandon Pew Pew.
Hey, what's going on, Brandon? Hey, can we view the chat? I think we lost Nick, by the way, too.
Oh no!
Oh, I am now back again.
Hooray! You can't.
Yay! And my
I
computer
had.
being all weird and laggy.
That's always good.
I'm gonna smack it.
Don't hurt it.
This didn't happen until I was messing with Photoshop. Wes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I see. Manga Studio.
There you
Point.
go. I need to pull it back up.
There you go. Maybe it's time to switch.
I'm being punished.
The internet is telling you right now.
So, where do you guys see the chat at? Can we view that, or is that just you, Wes?
You can go to the YouTube page and see it. I just have it like playing in the background. I have two computers on my desk because I'm super cool.
Yeah,
That.
you are.
And so I'm drawing on my Surface Pro 2, and then
That's
I just
awesome.
have my Mac plugged up. I have it as a desktop, so I'm just looking at it.
Now if anyone
Yeah.
wants to see me mess around with tool presets, your dream has come true.
That's finally tool presets.
Has come true.
That's what I've been waiting for this whole time. Oh no, I clicked on something. This is my face. Hello.
I say, hey, that's you. I
This
know
is
that
why-
guy.
This is why I
I'm
screen.
actually horrible.
I know that guy.
You
There
might
we
know
go.
me. You might know me from such things as this or this live stream that you're listening to.
So here's a little pro tip, kids. Whenever anything's not working, just turn it off and on again.
Yeah.
Because all software is incredibly fragile to the point that it's terrifying. And back to drawing.
Good tip. Good tip.
Yeah. Ah, yay. I have stuff again.
Where do you go open it, or did you go back into Photoshop? I like what you're doing there, Nick.
All my tools were just stuttering out. Oh yes, now the big reveal. Ha ha. Cheeky joke with Wesley, because he's my friend, and he makes
There you go.
comics with puns.
Oh
I don't see
no.
it.
Super original. Oh, am I sharing at the moment? I don't know if I set it back up. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not.
That's
Darn.
right. Today, I can see nothing.
Spoilers. Spoilers. There's nothing to see.
No, there it is.
I feel like mine is kind of what you would expect from a pirate dad joke.
That's stupid.
I like yours. You should be.
Hold on, I'll give you the title. It's a dumb pun. Holy shit, that's large.
Okay, I need to flip over and look at this. I hear laughter.
Hold
This
on.
good.
booty stinks. Okay, what's not to love about that?
Oh man, I need to stop closing it. That's what's not full of.
And
There we go. That's my pirate pun.
Stevens is killing it. Yeah.
oh, that's the fun. The thing is, man, you were drawing the face, and I was just like, what is up with this guy's face? I love his crazy, psycho-looking face. Oh my gosh, before you got to the rest, that's just terrifying.
Not quite hentai, but I figured it would do.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
That's
not
as
gonna
out
try.
there as we go.
Should
I'm
I
not
add?
gonna. Yeah, I feel like mine is family friendly. Now I feel bad. Yours is so much better. Let's see. So we got here. We did pirates. We do luchadors playing Settlers of Catan, which seems like the most complex request there.
That was intense.
That is intense. Or let's see. Drawing cartoon characters from our generation as old people. There you go. Yeah, I feel like mine is family friendly. Uh-oh, I hear my voice. That's terrible. Why does my screen share stuff fall on?
I don't know. I still got your fan.
Share. Yeah,
Still
that's
have
not.
your lovely mug.
Nick, you're out too. Well, no, I see you. Never mind.
Am I
I see
back?
you.
I'm back. I dropped again for a moment, Don't you guys just love Comcast? I mean,
Oh,
Guys,
I just, you never hear anyone say anything negative about them.
no,
You
not
know?
at all.
what a top-notch business.
Yeah, for real.
Huge on
Just-
Reddit, by the way.
They've, I'm sure. They've been like, it's like they send me a letter like, we bumped your speed, just to be nice.
I got that. I got that letter too.
Yeah, and ever since then, my internet has been blinking in and out.
Oh, that's good to know that I should not actually unplug and update.
You jerks. So I don't know.
That's a weird thing, actually. So I thought I was unique in that situation because, like, I remote into work,
Uh-huh.
and every once in a while it'll just blink out. The whole computer's just like, sorry, everything sucks. Your internet's done. I've even called my neighbors before, like, hey, do you have internet? Because I feel like I'm being scammed by AT&T.
Yeah. Yeah, this happened to a friend of mine. He's like, I got that letter, and then my internet was really spotty for a few weeks, and now it's okay. And I'm like, is this going to resolve itself? Is it going to torture me? I'm not really sure. I didn't know.
You guys have the AT&T tower, right? Don't you have the Batman tower?
Yeah, there's a Chick-fil-A on the bottom floor of it.
Is it really?
It's the Batman building.
If you want to throw out a little insider knowledge when you talk to your friends.
Name drop it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a Chick-fil-A down there.
Yeah, there's a Chick-fil-A down there.
Whatever.
So heads up.
It's no big deal.
I bet the Wi-Fi in that Chick-fil-A sucks.
Probably the most apt description of that one I've ever
Dude, I'm just done with it. I'm like kind of just done with this. Like, every time I call these support, they talk about how, hey, we can push you to like 10 megs or whatever. I remember I went to Kansas City for work, and Greenville and Kansas City were two of the first towns to vie for the Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, like our home, like where I'm at now in Kansas City, were the two, and we tried, we came in second, and Kansas City got it. So we went up there for work one time to go visit one of their labs because we're affiliated with some of them, and just lightning speed. The entire city was just booming with like all these new startup businesses that just happened immediately because their internet was incredible. It was just incredible to watch, like what just one, because they had 1 gig fiber, I guess 1 gig, internet speeds. Just like what you can really do and like what we're really paying for here in this crappy part of the world.
Yes.
We're supposed to be getting fiber, in Nashville, but then
It's not
where
for
I
a
live,
while.
where there's cows, I won't have it right away.
Are there cows where you live?
There's some cows down the street from my house. I mean, we're not especially rural, but yeah, there's some stuff out here. I just like to say that because then I seem like a hick.
Not really.
Not especially.
There's cows, guys. Little did you know. I saw someone on a tractor yesterday.
Loser.
Got stuck behind him on the road.
Stopping traffic.
That's the worst. If you're on a 2-lane road, you're stuck behind the tractor. You're like, gosh, give me the dotted lines.
This isn't really like I guess this is kind of a stupid tangent I'm on right now, but
Please.
I used to live in Charlotte, and they have the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and there's a like a massive like NASCAR presence there now. And I remember their gas stations would be like 85 octane, 87 octane, 89, and then 100 octane, which is like $8 a gallon. Just pure like octane ethane for like all these cars who were trying to like win in drag shows and all this stuff. And I remember like there was a news story of this guy who was filling up his tractor with it, and like I guess caused a fire on his farm and burned down his whole corn crop.
Oh gosh.
Like a complete idiot. I mean, that's the story. I'm not even going to elaborate any further than that, but it was just completely insane.
Just
Really, that's
burned
all you
down.
need to know.
Really it.
Look at the news that night. I was like, "Hey guys, wow, that's incredible! Oh my god!" You know, we went out anyways. Doesn't matter. It looks like somebody's drawing something else. Javis Ray, Legacy Control.
Yeah, you see him? He drew a pirate as well.
Incredible.
And it is incredible. And it's just like, why does he just have this? Just you get it. You lead the live stream. We'll just walk away now. This stuff is great. I'm gonna say it again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nice armpit hair, Javis. Oh, I said that right, Javis. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll find out. Oh no, I'm way down here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to draw. I'm moving on to the old character.
I don't know, man. Should I tweet out this Cap'n Crunch?
You should. It's great. I think you should just make it a whole comic. It's me.
Just a shirt, maybe a shirt on TeePublic.
I think people might buy that. However, your shirt sale's gone. We'll talk.
Shirt sales, they've been okay, you know. I mean, I've sold probably like, I don't know, 20, you know.
There you go. You're doing better than me. That's good.
It hasn't been like incredible. Actually, like, so I'll just level with you. What happened was like I actually got approached by TeePublic. So they have this one of the representatives contacted me and was like, hey, your single panels are funny. We'd love for you to put some on some shirts, and once you get 20 up, we can try and feature you.
Oh, nice.
I've got 17 up now, and I'm trying to make, like, I haven't really sold that many. You know, it's mostly been family. And actually, some of you guys, I think some of your coworkers bought one, right, Wes?
Yeah, because you had a monkey on, and he loves monkeys. So
I immensely appreciate that. Tell him he's my new best friend.
He's a great guy. You'd like him. He's totally into rave music. He's like just crazy. He will listen to his headphones all day, and it's just loud, like do 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 do. Crazy kid.
But so I mean, it's like I'm hoping that'll pan out, and hope they weren't lying, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Need some shirts. So I will see how it works. Like if it pays off, right on. But if not, I mean, you know, I'll report what happened if I get screwed over in the next drawing for dads.
Oh man, now there's a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Now you gotta come back. Look at that. That's
Next
how you get audience retention.
Tune in for episode 2.
You can hear. Maybe I'll tell you about how my kid's birthday party went.
Oh man,
Slow down, guys.
there we go.
We're just having family for ours.
Good man. Good
My sister
man.
did the have friends and everything, and it didn't seem like it went particularly well. So we're just like, let's not have that stress. The kid's not gonna care, you know.
Yeah, I'm just a simple man.
That's all I am.
Or lazy man. Maybe
They're kind of one and the same thing.
it kind of goes together. What color is your hair, Wesley?
In real life,
Is it brown?
it is brown in real life.
Or, well, your character, it's just white, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't ever color it.
What about your shirt? Do you leave it white?
Yeah, I'm
Yes, then I'm done. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You're doing geriatric Hey Arnold.
I am doing geriatric hanging out.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
I was trying to do like middle manager. Hey Arnold, I guess I should actually say.
That's fantastic. Oh gosh, what am I gonna do? Okay.
Trying to pick someone who is at the
There's the
same
pun
like.
rate, guys.
It's only 5 cents. There's a reason I'm not making any money.
Hold on, I'm just gonna pull it up.
Oh, whoops.
Did you cut video?
The pun rate of Wesley. Ta-da. Done. Oh
Nice.
gosh, no. Which 90s character to do?
Was that what
So
it
many
was?
good
90s?
ones.
Or like from our childhood?
Yeah, from your childhood. I chose Hey Arnold because I feel like I remembered him.
Of course, there's Skeletor. Moonra was, I guess, already pretty old. Old Moonra would be a pile of dust, I think.
It's I would see a Skeletor versus He-Man in the olden days.
Skeletor would be pretty good. Not Frank Langella. Skeletor. Then you got Lion-O. We talked about Lion-O.
What about Voltron?
Just a hunk of junk falling apart.
Yeah. Mangy cats combining into one big mangy cat robot.
Yes.
Or like bent over with like a walker.
See, I think you should take all the cartoon cats and then have them transform. And into like a Voltron of cartoon cats. That doesn't make any sense. Garfield, Heathcliff, you know.
That'd be pretty badass.
I feel like I'm just talking gibberish, but
No, there were a lot of like cartoon cats now you mentioned it, like back then.
Oh, that Arnold is awesome. Is that Doug?
It is Doug.
Doug funny. He's just all alone.
yeah.
He's on Patty's Facebook page looking through all of her vacation photos.
It's her and
Married to
Skeeter.
Roger Claus. Like, I had my chance, but I was incredibly insane.
Oh boy, Patty Mayonnaise. I mean, you can have a character named Patty Mayonnaise.
That was like, honestly, that was the prime Nickelodeon era for me, like Slit Your Shorts and all that.
Yes.
I loved all that stuff. It was so fun.
Salute your shorts. No, the only thing about Skeletor is you get very creepy cosplay photos while you're looking at Google Images.
Yeah. Is that the only thing?
Little creepy. I'm going to draw him from a toy. That seems like fun.
It's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Wes, your line art's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Just want to throw that out there. It's really clean. What do you draw? Like, what size do you start out in? Do you kind of like high DPI or anything?
I'm at 350 DPI. Usually I do like a 300 DPI, 294 by 294, or sorry, I should say 2,940. Remember that. By 2,940, unless I'm using like a template, but that's usually how wide it is, which I think comes out to like 9.5 inches. Because I figure I'll never need to print the comic that big. But I'm using the vector stuff, so it's like super clean. It's really nice. Like you can zoom in on it, and it's like, you can see how bad it is. Don't look too closely. It's all eyes.
It's still pretty sweet though. I mean, it's still like clean. Like honestly, my strip before I went digital was pretty clean because I was doing it by hand, you know.
Yeah.
And I could just control it so much better. And even some of the earlier stuff I would even try with inkwells, you know, just use different. And it was great. I got a lot of really cool control out of it. Now I've just kind of lost it. I'm going more for like a swoop type pattern. Like my technique's definitely a little bit more jagged now.
Do you like that more, or what do you think of it? How does it strike you?
I like it for the idea that it's more random, you know. Like I mean, I like the idea that I'm working at it and I'm trying to get better and to make it cleaner. But it also like the thickness varies with this, you know, not so much with a micron that I was using. I was using like a point oh 0.05 micron to do
Oh
Hmm.
my
yeah.
stuff on Bristol pad, and with this, it's just you get the variable line thickness, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, I like me some microns.
I've started going back and doing more like sketching in an actual sketch pad versus versus all that rigmarole of digital stuff, which is a nice like change of pace. It just has a nice tactile feel. I like the digital stuff for final production of stuff, but the sketchpad is nice for making sketches. You go figure.
Dude, you're weirding me out. Okay, let's make a little Skeletor. Creepy cosplay aside.
Your Doug is great. That's terrific. That's just like, ah, you nailed that like frazzled look already like in a sketch. Like, ah.
It's very Charlie Brown. Think
He
about it.
does
Yeah.
have that kind of vibe. I like Hey Arnold with an ID badge hanging around his
Yeah.
neck.
His backer, you should put some pain lines.
What was that?
You should put some pain lines. Like, are you going for like some back pain?
I was trying to go for just like that like middle manager like sad stance, which is like you gotta come in on Saturday and I hate myself in the same like I don't know. Maybe I'm just mad at middle managers and some
Like, it's a job he's gonna die at. That
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
terrible.
I imagine in this scene he's telling like, Gerald that he has to come in and say like, sorry dude man, but we gotta let you go or something. He gotta tell his best friend because it's what bottom line is, man. It sounds like really angry.
You ever see that strip by Mark Lavin, the guy who does Ubertool?
Which one?
It was the one with Hey Arnold. It's
Yes,
basically like
yes, yeah. With
yeah,
and it's
how Stewie looks nothing like Peter Griffin, and he's like, I wonder why you don't look anything like me. And this like next door neighbor is like Hey Arnold, you know?
yeah. That is another comic that just like nails it on humor. Like Mark
Yeah,
is just
he's a super cool guy too. He's really like I've never outside of Twitter, I've never really like talked to him, you know. Like I mean, I think I'm friends with him on Facebook or whatever,
yeah.
but I think that's about it. And he seems like a super cool guy, and his strip's really funny. He used to do this one called Adorable Crap that was pretty solid too.
Well, yeah.
I think it was the precursor for what it is now.
I love the style he's able to get from it too. It's just like there's nothing out there like that. It's just so good. I'm jealous of it. I'm just like you can tell an Uber Tool comic from like a mile away.
So are there any comments or anything?
Let's see. There are a few. Let's see. Now I'm Mr. Ray. I feel I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Javis, Oh, because he pulled out the A. Javis. That makes sense now. He said his pirate drawing, his arm hair is based on a real thing. If you haven't seen it, I think we both retweeted it. Steven and I have retweeted it, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful drawing. We'll have to have him on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, come on, and then just all blow us out of the water. Like that's just
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see. Oh no, I can't pronounce it.
Now you're psyched out.
Now. Well, now afraid I'm gonna mispronounce everything. McEnany says, like in the football head sketch, reminds me of Hey Arnold, which is who it's supposed to be, which is perfect. It's supposed to be we're drawing old cartoon characters that have grown up. So, and then the Beer Billy guy is a mix of Doug Head and Homer Simpson's body, maybe Barney Gumbel's body, which I think is also true. He does have a little bit of Barney Gumble. Now, do you imagine that, to me, it looks like Doug has lost Patty Mayonnaise to Skeeter.
Their friendship in shambles.
Yeah, and it's also at that time that Skeeter cashed in on Quailman, and that's a major motion picture now. The Silver Skeeter and Quailman have just gone off, and Hey Arnold Doug totally got skipped out on the copyrights, and they don't give him any credit on even the creation.
They even rename him instead of Doug Funny. It's like Fug Dunny or something like that.
Yeah. Qual, man.
Qual, man.
It's totally a different guy.
You can't sue. Rotten Hill.
Yeah.
What was that? Patience, intelligence, speed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my God. Do you remember?
Why do I remember all this junk? Why can't I remember something useful?
Dude, I remember all the songs by the Beats on that show.
Yes. Was it Dream Big? Yeah, Think Big, Dream Big. Something like that.
With their songs.
One of their songs was oh, that wasn't a Beat song. That was the song where Doug Funny and them are gonna make their own band that's gonna get as big as the Beats.
Oh yeah.
How'd that turn out for you, old Doug?
Not too well.
Are those dreams gone?
I think he might have won the talent show. But he probably still goes around telling people that story. We were totally gonna be the next Beats, man. And everyone's like, yeah, sure, dude. He's like, just buy me another drink.
It's probably they had that one show at a bar, like a dive bar, and he felt so alive. They got so hammered, and he always talks about it to his kids, and the rest of them kind of went on, moved to Nashville.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe they're laying around somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Nickelodeon for you.
That got dark and sad.
So how do you guys, this is something I've kind of thought about, do you guys introduce your kids to art yet, or any kind of drawing? Do you just let them kind of play with crayons, or do you actually teach them any of the stuff you kind of learned, I guess, back in school or anything? I mean, I know it might be a little early, obviously, Wes,
Yeah, she does have she does have crowns, and she will carry one around with her. If you give it to her, she won't let it go. She refuses to relinquish it. But I also think she watched a lot of Harry Potter when she was little. Because my wife loves Harry Potter, so I don't know if she thinks it's like a wand,
Yeah.
But I think she's kind of figured out how to make a mark. But that's as far as we've gone. You can't really be like, that mark needs more, needs more commitment behind it, or it's not a real solid mark.
I don't believe that, Mark.
Yeah. You need to show less fear. Though watching a kid draw is just is an amazing feat. It's just you can tell they just this line goes here. They know it. Like me, who's deleting the same line 4 times in a row. They're just that line goes there. And
Yeah.
and they just move on. Life is good.
My 2-year-old loves to draw. He always has. He'll just, if you give him some crayons and some blank paper, he just goes crazy. It's the only time he's still. He loves it. He'll just sit and draw 100 circles on a page.
I bet he's really good at that, though.
It's been cool to watch him kind of develop, get to where he could do his circles. and they'd be like this big scribbly circle, and then he got to where he draws small circles, and it just kind of became more precise over time. It's pretty neat.
Do you do anything with him, like to encourage him, or just give him stuff and let him run with it?
Oh yeah, I'll get down and draw with him. He was drawing monsters one day. It was just like circles with scribbly lines for mouths. Which is pretty great, because I would take shapes that he drew and turn them into things,
Oh yeah.
you know? So I'd
Yeah.
like make them like the Bugs Bunny, hairy looking monster kind of guy and stuff like that. And so he got to where he would do some things like that. And then Jude will draw, Ninja Turtles, a blob with a bandana across the middle kind of deal.
There's so many drawings that my dad had that was just that, like, yeah, green scribble up and down, like blue scribble across. They're Ninja Turtles, Dad. Ninja Turtles. Okay.
Crazy little monster. I was pretty pleased with. It was pretty neat for a 2-year-old. I'm like, son, I expect you to improve over time, but this will do for today.
I'm pleased for now.
Make no mistake though. There we go. Sort of. Do you guys have any kind of projects or comics that you kind of want to talk about, flesh out, maybe some ideas? Any jokes?
I was trying to pass around this one today where it was like your dog was the main character in a video game. So like an epic loop drop for him would be like when you dropped a sandwich on the floor. But I haven't quite figured out like the joke in it, you know? If that's even making sense.
Yeah, like kind of like a side scroller, or
Yeah, or like World of Wolfcraft, huh?
yeah, absolutely.
So then
See,
it'd
that's
be
why
like,
you were my pun guy. That's
Yeah.
why you were my pun guy.
Freak Bubble's terrible.
I like it. Do it.
I just have to figure out like so opposed to like for the horde, it's for the pack, and then it's it's like this guy is an epic loop drop or whatever, and you just like the dog like tripping someone and making them drop their sandwich. Like, yes.
Oh, I'll be right back. I have to make a bottle real quick. Hey, this is real dad life.
Real Dagla.
I'll be right back.
What?
Gotta go make a bottle.
Oh, nice.
My wife just came in and told me to keep it down. I'm talking too loud for the baby. No.
I'm telling you, garage, man. That's how you go.
We don't have a garage. Just we rub it in.
Rub it in. They're okay. They're hot as balls, and there's spiders everywhere. I wouldn't call them awesome. No, I mean it's when we moved from our old place, this is kind of where we moved all my art stuff. So actually, a lot of my comics are out here, like all the originals that I have, I had this idea when I was starting out comics. I kind of dove into it gung ho. I read all the books from like Dave Kellett and Chris Straub, and all those guys. They had all their webcomics books. And Dave Kellett, like his strip Sheldon and Drive, I really loved a lot. And I remember him talking one time that like some percentage that's like kind of decent of his income is original drawing sales,
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I got to make everything on Bristol so I can sell it one day because everybody's gonna want it. Nobody bought a single one ever to this day.
Oh no.
And so, I mean, I still love that I got them out there, but I don't know what to do with them now. Like about 300 papers of Bristol that I'm just kind of trying to figure out how to store.
You can give it away to patrons. It's like one
See, there you
patron a month.
go. There you go.
You know, if you pledge at the $5 level, one of you a month will get this. That old Skeletor by Nick is amazing. Your
See
old
that?
Bugs Bunny is great as well.
It's also if you made the teeth kind of recline, like retreating in. That's interesting. I like that. So you still like obviously you still like a Patreon. I think you just hit the 50 mark, right?
I did, yeah. So I do have a patron. If any of these 3 people watching want to support me, it's patreon.namelesspcs or /namelesspcs. I don't know. I mean, I have just everything at like the $1 level right now, so I'm not sure if I want to do anything like more after that, like divide up levels more or what.
I admire that though. I mean, so I think Beatrice the biologist did that too, and hers panned out really well. And I mean, I like that. I like that style. I think it's really cool.
I think I just need to find more rewards to give to it, and I just need more time to dedicate to the comic in general.
Jeez.
I think,
You know what I like about it though is like.
Okay, there's some dad for you.
yeah.
Nice.
Bottle making. Okay.
I think the cool thing about the $1 Patreon thing though is that you get to focus more on milestones, or at least people can pay attention more to the milestones.
Yeah, I think I just need to like put in more like milestones on stuff. I just need to figure out what it is like that I want to make. I don't know. I feel like I'm really bad at that. I just need like I don't know what people want, you know?
It's tough to call, you know. It's really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my anxiety for starting one. I wouldn't call it anxiety, just call it time. Really, just being a dad life.
Dad life.
Yeah, just trying to get one going has just been like, ugh. Just I gotta sit down, I gotta do all this stuff, but I also have a full-time job and kids.
Yeah. And then
So I'll
making a
get
comic
there.
alone feels like a full-time job. So anyways, Nick, you need to start making a comic.
Right. You guys are like, gosh, it's just crushing. Nick, you really need to do this, by the way.
BT dubs, as the kids say.
See, there you are. You're doing it.
Fresh.
You're revealing yourself
I am revealing myself.
as unfresh. I don't know. That really is a thing I've thought about doing. That's the thing I've thought about doing in the past is making a comic.
I think you should, man. I mean, we said this last time, but I think. Do you have any kind of ideas for a premise? I mean, have you even thought about it beyond that?
Zilch. Zilch.
I'm going to tell you, premises are overrated. Just draw what you want, man.
Just Johnson. That was sort of the. I mean, that's a premise, right? You know.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's gonna be free form or whatever. I almost think I would do something like that. I've always been an admirer of the PBF.
Yeah.
And
Very level.
yeah. And
Those guys have the most wide range of art in their strip. I love it.
exactly. And that's what I like about it is like one's a single panel kind of gag and one's like this 4-panel kind of thing and one's these simple little white blobby dudes and one's this highly rendered kind of thing.
They actually just did a Kickstarter I think a couple months ago, and I can't remember the guy's name. I can't pronounce his last name, but
it's Nicholas, right? Isn't it Nicholas Gurich or something? Yeah.
I can't remember the last
However
name.
you say his name.
I can't either.
As we butcher your name.
The entire Kickstarter was based on a book made out of linoleum prints. If you go back and watch his video, it's really cool, and it's basically his idea of making an entire book out of this process.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, I think something like that where whatever I can do to be as non-committal to things as I can is kind of the thought.
It's nice. I like it.
What will keep me doing this if I'm non-committal to anything? Cool.
I feel like that's what Nameless PCs has become, which is nice. So it's like 1 week will be like dad jokes, and the next one will be just completely unrelated, just whatever. There'll be a dumb anteater that I'm trying to sell on a shirt at TeePublic. If you go to teepublic.com and search anteater, not can eater, I'm sure you'll find it. Like that plug. Bam.
Nice plug.
Professional. I think I mumbled the whole thing, so there's always that.
That's interesting though. Don't you think like a lot of comics kind of abandon the premise?
Yeah, I think so. I think every comic I've ever seen has started with one premise, and then eventually it's just kind of, it's not abandoned, and at least like heavily modified it, or
Yeah, your
definitely
comics
changed
like
gears.
that, right?
Yeah, it started as a comic about like D&D, and then it became like a slice of life comic. And now it's whatever it is. I don't know how to describe it.
Slice of life.
Yeah, with occasional just like random nonsensical things thrown in, which is like Life Man. So slice of life.
That's how mine was. I started out doing this like whole strip about record stores and these two guys, and I did what I was gonna do with it, and it was just time to move on. Nobody like people cared, but like not what I thought,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
anticipating it. It was just kind of like I don't know. I wanted. It's not that I wanted people to care. I just wanted to kind of do something different and just write about a few characters in a comic in a record store. It was just time to like really venture out and make jokes I wanted to make.
Yeah, I had cooked up a premise for something once. I can't remember. This might have been before webcomics were a thing, like that long ago. Like Nick in high school, thinking, "Man, being a cartoonist would be cool." And I think it was something with like a stand-up comic, if I remember right, because it would give me the opportunity to switch between relationships and just having him riff on something,
Yeah.
So you just have random like him riffing like one-off kind of things, but then you could have relationships. And then I realized that's kind of like what Seinfeld is. So, and then there's also the fact that I know absolutely nothing about that subject. So, but yeah, I had thought about the regular strip kind of dealio.
You should do it.
It would be fun. I just
join our-
worry that I would be the loser that would like do it for 3 weeks and then never think of anything again.
You at least did it for those 3 weeks, though.
That's the thing, though. You're making something, right?
Yeah, you've made something for 3 weeks, and
That's
even
what
if
counts.
like, no one sees it, that's all that matters.
Now I'm like meeting people that do this, so
Yeah.
I mean, people would even see it, so
Yeah,
it's cool.
at least 200. One might like it.
Right. Even if that one is you and you're being polite.
Yeah. Gosh, that's my like panic now. Is this like I'll share a comic and people will share it, and I'm just like, I wonder if they're.
Do you like me?
Do you like my comic? Are you just like being nice? Is it because I liked your comic? You don't have to like repeat it if you don't like it. And oh god.
No, your comic's been really funny lately, so I think you're
Yeah.
okay.
It's been kind of kicking ass.
I mean, I've always liked it anyway, but just because I kind of get your sense of humor because I know you. But the last couple have been pretty dang solid, I think. Like to the point where I can show them to my wife and she'll laugh at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's always a good test. Someone that doesn't know you as well,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think the writing. I'm getting better at jokes, which is where I think
The
is
one
my
with the
level,
whiskey in the book, I think, is the one I sent her, and she just she loved that. So
but nice.
you hit a nerve, man.
Nerve.
Yeah. Skeletor with a walker.
Love it.
There we
Skeletor,
go.
brilliant.
Skull. Color them yellow like their tennis balls.
Yes. Yes. That's it.
Skeletor is like sad and beautiful all at once.
I know, he looks very sad. I almost feel kind of guilty for making him so sad.
He's killed like He-Man years ago, and he's just stuck with
He's like,
Beast-Man
"I got
all day.
Yeah.
We really should have done He-Man with like man boobs or something.
Yeah, I tried to add some sagginess there.
Oh, I see it.
There's some Tumblr that's like a Skeletor's daily like affirmation kind of thing,
Yes.
What? Really?
and
Yeah,
it's so
it's
funny.
it's just like a picture of Skeletor from the cartoon, and it'll say like, today I don't let my enemies define me or something.
Yeah, I saw some of those when I was looking for this image. Is what made me think of.
They're great. They're just great. I don't know. I don't know if this part works out as well. Perfect. A plus. Apparently forgot to draw Arnold's legs or feet. He doesn't have them. He just floats.
He floods like they flooded the office.
Yeah. That's why he has to come in.
It's my anniversary.
It's my anniversary. Shut up, ballhead. Told Pataki years later, just hoping to have an affair with him in the office one night. By keeping him late. It's a power play. I'm just writing stories for all of them now. I had this other comic idea that was, so it's like this guy who's just won the Super Bowl, and they're interviewing him, so it's that classic like setup.
Yeah.
Like, so now that you won the Super Bowl, what are you gonna do? And he just goes like, well, it's complicated, and it shows him holding a list of like things he wants to accomplish, and it's like grow an amazing beard, climb Mount Everest, win the Super Bowl, and all of those are marked out. And then the one below it is like, stop letting meaningless accomplishments define me and find what truly makes me happy.
That's awesome.
And then I thought even below that would just be like, try pomegranate, Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
It's like journal more.
Do it, man. Great.
Look into riding lawnmowers. What?
I had this one where it was gonna be like I was gonna call it bidets of our lives, like two bidets.
I'm already on board.
Yeah. It's like this relationship breakup that you would see in a soap opera, and then like at the end, one of them starts crying and just sprouting water out of the top, and it says like subtitles crying or something like that.
Nice.
Just breaking up about like how one of them slept with the toilet or something.
Yeah.
Or it's either that or Kanye's of our lives, where it's just two Kanye's like pretty much in a fight, in a soap opera fight, and they just make up and kiss because they love each other. Damn, you look good, kind of Kanye thing. But then I'm afraid I'd be like pandering to the internet,
Oh boy.
I like it.
Then
This is
Kim
like,
Kardashian retweets it, and
yeah. I mean, there's like a whole. I feel like there's a whole concept there where you could just make a webcomic that is nothing but Kanye's of our life. Like that idea has so much like potential of just being so strange and just using just Kanye quotes to put it together.
I say you make me want to make a webcomic about a soap opera now.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Do it, Nick.
Or wrestling.
Oh gosh.
See, I had a comic idea. Maybe I told you guys this one where it was like it was a long form comic where it's a band who gets signed to like a tour, and so but right as the tour goes on, the apocalypse happens. So like the Four Horsemen kind of apocalypse, and everything kind of gets ruined, but they still have to go on the tour. Their contract doesn't let them out of it.
So they're like playing the demons and all different kinds of like.
Yeah. It's like I think one of the ideas was like they would eventually like see the four horses of the apocalypse and steal them, so they could get to the gig on time. It's just like.
That's awesome. Yeah, make it metal. Make them like a metal band.
Yeah, they would have to be like a metal band.
Oh gosh.
Or like have a demon like we sign my wings or my.
Yeah. Yeah, like the concept would be in the end they would meet like all the major like the seven heaven dragon would be there. and like the Antichrist would be around, and they would just be like, "Hey, dude, what's going on?" Like they were just trying to do their band thing versus everything else going on, and somehow they influence like the world into that nature.
I had this one. It was gonna be like I don't know because it would just be involved, But it was gonna be like Werner Herzog's daycare, where you know what I'm talking about, the guy who did that like Werner Herzog I actually don't even know what nationality he is, but he did that documentary on penguins.
Okay, I gotcha. The March of the Penguins.
Yeah, just really like dark and brooding, just really God. But it's basically like him doing a documentary of the daycare, and he talks about how one of the kids just ventured off from the herd and just kind of went into traffic, but they can't interfere because of documentary rules. And then so the kid perishes, obviously. And then like last season, he's like, "Do you like my film?" And the credits roll, and he's like, "Where the fuck is my kid?"
I'm never coming back to this daycare again. That's hilarious. I liked your umpire comic as well. I meant to say that earlier.
Oh, thank you, man. That one was kind of a lot of heartache, actually. That took 3 days to do.
Oh yeah.
Just because the first day I forgot to save it and my computer stalled.
Oh no, yeah.
I lost like 3 hours of work, and the next day I fell asleep on my pad.
Oh no.
Which is always a drag. You're just kind of done by that point.
That was me like Thursday night. I was trying to do some freelance, and I was like, I'll draw, and I was just like, ooh. I'm glad I did not drop anything.
And the last thing was like the mask on the umpire was I had to figure out the right color balance and orientation of the mask to not interfere with like his facial features.
Oh yeah.
So that was such a pain in the ass to like figure out, and it took so long. But I mean,
you learned something, right?
I'm just kind of like bitching about being a cartoonist.
That Doug is great. I just now looked at that. The hairline. It's all about the hairline.
We'll zoom on that.
Oh, and he's still wearing the same stupid clothes.
I was trying to think of something for him to say, like, I don't know, like a quail shows up, he's like, "What the hell is that?" But I can't think of anything good.
You could have him say something about the beats, like how he's beat. No, I don't know. There's like a really bad pun there. I just can't find it.
Oh, this is stupid. And I was embarrassed to admit it, but like when I was 20, I realized so I'm a huge Beatles fan, And I was like, I was just thinking about their name one day after I was thinking about the beats from Doug Funny, or like from Doug the Show, and how it's spelled differently. I'm like, why would the Beatles spell their name B-E-A-T? And I was like, oh, because they're dropping the beat, not like in the dubstep sense, but because they're setting the beat up. And at 20 years old, I figured that out. I was like, Jesus, you gotta be kidding. I didn't tell a lot of people that.
Now it's on YouTube for all time.
Well, that's what you get when you do drawing with dads, listeners.
Things are getting raw.
Yeah.
Things are getting raw.
To be fair, we have
bottles. We're talking about Beatles.
We have 2 viewers now.
My fear of failure.
That's 2 viewers. My fear of failure that 4 people have left.
Yeah.
All there, and then everyone went away.
Well, we have been going for several hours now, so you know.
Oh gosh, it's midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 1 here. Obviously, because different time zone.
Magic.
I didn't know if you were still Central or not.
I am not. No, I'm Eastern.
It's the worst.
You are the worst time zone.
Is it? We're the ones that get, the ball drop on New Year's first. So go to hell with that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's actually. What do you guys do for New Year's? Like, do you just kind of watch our ball drop at 11 p.m.?
Nashville actually drops like a giant guitar or something, right?
Yeah. Nowadays,
I never watch it, but they do it.
I don't know if they replay it or they show it at 11 p.m. But then again, I think they do a central ball drop.
But so you guys don't pay attention to the one in New York?
I don't really.
I mean, it's on ABC or whatever. So.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Whatever's on ABC.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think like Australia is the one that's just like, oh, all you guys are cheating, you're just copying us, since they're already like on the international date line or whatever?
So my mom, during, Y2K, when that was going on, she stocked, I think like 40-gallon like milk jugs of water in our basement because she thought the whole like society was gonna break down. And she was like, "Here it comes, here it comes." I'm like, like however many time zones have already experienced this, they seem okay. I think we'll be fine. Calm the hell down. That's what everybody was waiting for. Was like, here it comes. I'm like, I'm sure you guys were like, New York's fine, we're fine.
Yeah.
There's on YouTube there's some like old Leonard Nimoy Y2K preparedness thing. It was like this video special, and it's like Leonard Nimoy hosting it, and it's kind of amazing.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Talking about preparing for Y2K. Oh, it's there.
Nice.
I just got your total 90s internet kind of thing going on. It's pretty special. Why do I fill my mind with all this useless crap?
It's fun. I appreciate it though.
To share it with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Just for these moments right here.
We go from daycares to random Leonard Nimoy videos.
Yeah.
We cover it all.
Well, I think it may be time.
I feel this is good. This is like really my last one here.
Yeah.
You guys retweeted something someone drew earlier, right? And I totally missed it.
Yeah, it was the guy from Legacy Control, Javis Ray. That one?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be making us look like unskilled hacks. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Pretty bitchin'.
He does. It looks like he's not even trying. Is the worst part of it all.
Oh, I haven't found it yet. Come on, Twitter. Oh, that's a cool one. What a cool pirate. Love it. Well, cool. Well, that's fun that some people actually threw some stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's awesome.
We feel like we went up some.
Yeah, I need to save my stuff out to PNGs and tweet it here at midnight.
I might have to do mine in the morning. I'm ready, I think, for bed. Because I'm an exciting individual.
I think I'll stare at not a computer screen for a while and then go to bed. Time to go stare at my TV. See you guys. Soothe me to sleep.
Adding useless lines.
Cool. So we'll do this again. How long since the last one we did? Was it 2 weeks?
It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was thinking like every other week. That way everyone has a break. If that's
I like the bi-weekly thing. I find that's a good way to stick with this kind of stuff.
We'll see if we can't line up another.
I am down with that.
Person to draw maybe next time.
Ah, that'd be fun.
As well.
That would be rad.
The Skeletor is great.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pleased with him. I didn't know it's shirt at first, but then I gave like the little drapey thing off the front of the walker.
Yeah.
That made it for me.
I love how like simple it is, but how much depth it has. It like the same.
Oh yeah. Dude, the little like cross drape on the walkers and.
I mean, I'm almost tempted to get that tattooed on my body. It's so good.
Oh man, I'm touched. I'm touched.
I love it. It's just like the perfect, like sad, funny.
I was thinking about going in and painting it, but I don't know. I kind of like the
lines are good.
The lines in it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Very tattoo.
Yeah, it's another good.
Just even a T-shirt.
Another good set of drawings here tonight. How many did we do? 4?
Yeah. So we
like that. That's awesome. Yeah.
You go. Good practice, everyone around.
Yeah. And then eventually you guys will get me doing this every week and publishing it to the world.
Here you go.
And being afraid of the results.
That's the plan.
Okay, well, cool. Well, then we'll find someone for next time.
Yeah.
we'll sign off. Do we plug our stuff at the end? Is that a thing? We did
Yeah,
that
yeah.
last
Oh,
time, I
yeah. We
think.
should do the closing up thing. So, thanks for everyone for watching. The two that are still here. I think I might actually be one of the two, so I'm not entirely sure. But at least I think Brandon Pew Pew is here. So thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, thank you.
Let's see. So I'm Wesley Hall. I do Nameless PCs. It's a comic coming every Tuesday and Thursday to you on the World Wide Web. There, and you can find it at namelesspcs.com. And I'm on Twitter at namelesspc without the S. I'm just one of me. Look at that. Whoa, mind blowing.
I like it.
Yeah, saving you an S so that you can type me extra character. That's my strategy.
Okay, and I'm Nick Pruitt. I don't do anything other than draw with these guys.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes! So far as internet contributions, and I'm Nerd Pruitt. That's Pruitt. Weird thing to spell. Yeah, and
I am Steve McGee from RainDogComic.com. You can find me on Twitter at RainDogComic. I update from time to time. I'm trying to get a solidified schedule going on, and that's my mission right now. Because of kids, drawing with dads, yay!
Yeah. All right, thanks for watching, and we will check you guys later.
You too.
Goodbye. Stop.